After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War. Now, in the year 1973, the world still lies in the heart of this frigid period. The West and East engage in proxy wars to assert dominance, while spies and agents engage in shadowy dealings. And, with the threat of nuclear war, the world always feels close to doomsday. It's as if the whole world is holding their breath, waiting for someone to make the first wrong move.
Should I play the OP? Should we just start with that?
Yeah, I'll just play it.
I was just
Good trouble while we...
Go for it.
So now that we've demonetized the video, welcome to the new campaign, everyone. This is pretty exciting. This is going to be session. Well, this is session 1 of Good Trouble. It's the new campaign. Is everyone excited? Everyone ready?
Yeah,
I'm ready.
So ready.
Good.
I am prepared.
So, Darnell, what happened last time?
Nothing. Last time was 2021. Now it's 1973, baby. So this is last
This guy's
time.
never going to die.
Wait, who's never?
So I expected this to go on longer, but at the end of the OP, I guess. Was it, like, it's simple. Just jump in. Let's jump in. We've got our characters. We've got everything we fucking need.
Yeah.
1973, Nixon is the one.
He's the one, yes.
Chosen by the arrow.
that bastard took us off the gold standard.
Jack's never recovered from the gold standard.
So yes.
It's like that fucking bit from Teen Titans Go.
Flies into the fucking country. He's like, I'll never forgive the Americans.
Exactly.
So yeah, if anyone have anything they want to say or anything they want to do before we begin?
I pick your nose for you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Palmer. No, whole horse, I mean. So yeah,
I'm good. I'm ready to go.
Let's begin. We're far above the. We start far above the country of Germany in particular, which is where we find ourselves in this first little adventure. We zoom down, swooping through clouds, over hills, through the city, and so finally we're above the city of Berlin, which is sort of split in two by almost a knife wound across it. If that knife wound was actually a wall, the Berlin Wall, I'm sure anyone in this era will be familiar with.
This would be the
for
part in
memories-
JoJo where like the menacing symbols pop up and the sound effect like
Exactly. As it shows the wall. So we it's a rainy night. Well, it's a rainy day. It's around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock here, and we swoosh past the Berlin Wall through the streets of East Berlin on the other side of the Iron Curtain from where perhaps our homes are, and through the streets. There's a sense of, Dana said, best menacing sense around the area. And this time, the Ministry for State Security had an iron grip on East Berlin. Informants were everywhere. You basically had to accept the fact that you were probably being spied on any moment, any day. You may not have been, but it's best to live your life with that assumption. We swoop past through people going home from work. It's sort of rush hour at this point. We go into sort of the burnt-out ruin of a previous business. What seems to be some sort of tavern that was been vandalised, or perhaps just abandoned at some point. Through the burnt-out room, down the stairs, into the basement. So sort of a dark place. Dim light of clouded over sunlight through cracks in the ceiling. And on the wooden wall, in what is clearly unnatural, it sort of pops out this big square of it and slides off to the side, revealing this sort of utter darkness that 4 people come out of. Who are these 4 people? I'll let you tell me.
I am Dante Drake. I am an Italian-American man wearing kind of dressed like a greaser, like slick pants, got a leather jacket on, well-groomed short black hair.
Right, okay. That's the first one who comes out. None of you have used the ability that got you here, but the person who used it is not sticking around. His job is to drop you off and vamoose.
Absolutely.
So that is what he has done.
And I believe Dante's the youngest among us. He's still in like his mid-20s, and the rest of us, I think, are like 30-some years old.
Are you?
Yeah.
Holy shit, you are.
The next to step out, you see sort of like from the darkness, a pale hand grips the side of the door, and you see like the face and like the upper half of a woman pop out. She's got sort of long brown hair tied up in sort of a work ponytail. She's wearing like a very fancy suit, like, you know, strictly black with like a white undershirt and a black tie, and she's got like clearly these like dark rings under her eyes that looks like she hasn't slept in 10 years as she steps out behind Dante and says, "This is the place, right?"
Should be.
As you are having that little exchange, the third person comes out, and I'll let the finders keepers on who that is.
Yes,
this is
I
the
believe.
fucking place. Oh.
They come through the door at the same time. They're fighting each other to get through the door first.
Get the fuck out of my way, you goddamn bastard! Jesus fucking Christ! The
This
smell.
does feel
Hey,
like
hey.
it could be a
The
JoJo
rebels
bit.
know their place. And as you see, you see coming next to the door, a man in a Stasi uniform.
I like to think you two got
They look to
stuck
be,
through the door.
Yes, a man in a Stasi uniform. They seem to be, looking to be in their
Disguised.
late 20s or early 30s. You can't quite tell. They've got medium-length, wavy, chestnut brown hair along with a wispy goatee, adjusting their secret police cap.
Pushing him out of the way.
This is the place, I assume?
Pushing him
As you
out
are
of the
saying
way.
that, looking all cool, you're pushed out the way.
Out of frame.
Yeah.
Pushing him out of the way is another Italian. He's the taller guy. His name is Christopher, but everyone calls him Bats, probably because of the baseball bat that's slung across his back. He's wearing a very loose-fitted suit. Kind of looks like he just picked it up from the cleaners, but they did a really piss-poor job with it. This guy has black, slick-backed hair, and he's kind of unbuttoned his shirt underneath. He's kind of dusting the stench from this well-dressed policeman out of the room. Yeah, this is the fucking place, just like I said.
I have a question about Bats. You mentioned his shirt's open. Does he have like gnarly ass chest hair?
What do you think? Full fucking hamburger meat, baby.
Gross.
Ugh,
Right, okay.
I'll need to take a shower after this.
You
While
say
they're-
you-
While they were fighting each other, by the way, I saw them just fighting, shook my head, and immediately lit up a blunt and started smoking it.
that is outrageous in the 1970s, but okay.
What do you mean? That is the time to do drugs, my friend.
Yeah, I mean that's when it was also most illegal, if I'm correct.
Hey,
I don't think it
that's
was.
just
The war
US
on
we're
drugs
talking
kind of
about.
came after the period of the 70s where everyone was
Yeah, the
doing
war
Tell
on
you
drugs
what,
hadn't happened yet.
drugs.
Gent, I believe we are in Germany, not the Americas.
Chelsea
You're
also,
really gonna use.
out of her suit pocket, pulls out a little cigarette and lights it, but hers is nicotine, not weed.
You're really gonna smoke up before the fucking mission like that?
Hell yeah.
My guy,
Helps with the nerves.
this half Russian, half Chinese man, pulls out a Cuban cigar and he starts smoking it.
I like to think we all turned to look at Bats.
Ah, jeez. Fine. And he takes out his cigar and lights it. I was gonna
better.
save this after we make it out alive from this fucking death trap we're about to walk into.
So needless to say, you have not smuggled yourselves under the Berlin Wall, well, through the Berlin Wall, really, for sightseeing or tourism. You are here for a very particular purpose, and why don't you guys explain what that purpose is? And who are you? What are you doing here, like, in the larger sense?
Chelsea would look to Dante first and be like, driver, you got a route planned out to Green Gables?
I take out a map. I always think about my route first.
Right.
And I spread it out in front of us. Tan, I hate to ask, but what would I think is the most efficient route?
Well, the infiltration point here has been picked specifically because it is fairly close to where you need to be, Green Gables apartment complex.
Right.
So getting there isn't as much of an issue there. So it's a short trip, all things considered. Like even if you weren't to use your stand, for example, you could probably get there walking with enough time there. But in terms of getting there, not spotted, it's a bit hard to say because we, of course, do not know who's watching. The Stasi, of course, have people everywhere. So that's not something that can really be put down on a map. But in terms of your route to the destination, you can pretty easily sort of map out some back roads that should be less populated to sort of protect you from too many prying eyes.
Regent, based on your getup, I assume you'll be handling the infiltration. You got a plan to find Bell?
Regent seems to have forgotten his code name.
Regent seems to have left the building.
He's already gone for the mission. Oh, he's back. Hello.
Welcome, Stigma.
What was that, chap? There was a bit of smoke in my ears.
Regent, I assume based on your getup that you're handling the infiltration. Do you have a plan to find Bell?
Yes, we enter the place and find her.
And find Bell?
We'll never know.
He's
Did you
got
not
smoke in
hear
his
me?
mouth.
Now's not the time to choke up, Regent. What's the plan?
We infiltrate the place and find her.
I thought it was a he.
Her? It's abroad?
Okay, so
Well,
clearly
but
Regent
I
didn't read the
haven't met
briefing.
them personally. I'm
Listen.
just assuming based off the name.
If anything goes wrong, my stand can only hold one other person. So, just if shit hits the fan, I'm probably gonna have to take the bell and skadoosh.
Slugger, you and I are the heavy hitters, right?
They made sure to get us in here, but they sure as hell don't care about getting us out, right?
Don't worry, I'll swing back for you guys after I get Bell out. I don't
sure
leave
you
no
will.
one behind.
I have full faith in you, driver. Your record looks good, but I'm worried about the tight time window we've got here. It's either going to be 5 p.m. tomorrow or the day after if things go bad, and, well, assuming we don't make either of those, I don't think we're going to get out with any help.
I check my watch. What time is it?
So it's around. If we refer back to the mission briefing you received, you've been deposited at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. here. And there's a mistake in this because according to the letter, you will be deposited and leaving at 5 p.m.
I assumed you were giving us like a full 24 hours, so we would come back 5 p.m. the next day.
So that's a misunderstanding that's caused by my sloppy writing. You have an hour, and then if you miss that hour window, there's the next one in 24 hours. So 6 p.m. is the exit window. That's my mistake. I do apologize.
How far will it take to get to the building based on the route that driver has planned out?
It's fairly quick, 5-10 minutes.
All right, then. Everybody got their pagers?
I sort of flash mine. It's like a little black box, and I sort of beep it affirmatively, and to everyone else, they should also get a little beep on their pager.
Beep.
I love this quirky little thing. Wonder what they'll come up with next.
Hopefully something a little
Check
more
it out.
convenient. Alright, so we should work out the signals then, yeah? Beep from Regent when he gets in, beep when we grab Bell, and then beep when we're ready to leave. 3 beeps total.
You want to work out anything that goes wrong? Get to a phone, something like that. I mean, we got a plan for contingency here.
I lean over driver and look at the map, and I say, what do you think? Anywhere here look like it'd be a good place to lay low?
And
Well, it's in a quiet part of town. This is a part of town that has not been hit well by the current state of the economics here. So there are some abandoned buildings near the apartment building. The apartment building is sparsely populated for similar reasons. So even within the building, there are other apartments you could maybe hide in. But there are also abandoned businesses similar to this tavern around. There's an abandoned church with a bell tower. There's some possibilities here.
I put my hand down at the church. What about there?
That's one of the locations. And aside from the church is all of the places Tan just listed off. I have like circled with a marker. any of these places will make for a good hiding place, for as far as my recon tells me.
Church is probably going to be the best. I doubt a whole lot of people around here have much faith, and if we do get caught, it's the least suspicious place.
More
Right,
worried,
okay.
more worried about the fact that the Soviets might check up on the church, though.
That's a good point. What were the other places you listed, Tan?
There are some abandoned businesses inside the apartment building. If you want to be a little bit risky, there are going to be unoccupied apartments you could maybe hide in. So it depends on sort of where you want to be hiding out, basically, while this is going down.
Vasilii suddenly has a thought in his head, and he asks the voice in his head,
Yes, my child.
were all of us debriefed on the capabilities of our partner's stands?
I think you have a vague idea of like these two, Chelsea and Bats, are sort of frontline combat types. Well, Bats could maybe even be sort of a long range fighter as well. You've got a little bit of information there. Driver, of course, is Zoom, gonna sort of infiltration specialist and transports. And yourself, of course, if I'm not mistaken, you'd be more sort of a utility individual. Is that right? So you've got an idea of like the roles you
I
can
believe
play.
Regent is more than capable of holding his own in a brawl.
Well, yes,
Regent.
of course. As a nobleman, you are expected to have talent in all matters. But you don't have specific knowledge on specific abilities. This is the first time you all work together, but you do know roughly what roles your teammates can play.
Regent, you've got a lot of versatility, right? Maybe this place would be good. And I point to like an abandoned factory, maybe like an automobile factory or something. A lot of space.
There wouldn't happen to be a barracks nearby, would there?
It would not be, unfortunately. This is a like civilian part of town.
Tricky.
Well, we don't
Factory
have a whole lot of
sounds
time.
good.
Yeah, we don't have a whole
It's
lot
only
of time
about
to
a
plan.
block away. All right then. What do you say we get rolling?
Sounds good to me. I put out my blunt and I put it in like a little what do you call it? Like the portable ashtray? Yeah.
I'll dip my cigarette
nice.
too, squish it.
So,
no littering on my watch. Everyone in here.
That's you have a cigar, if I recall correctly. How do you handle that?
It'll
Still
fit.
gonna keep smoking it.
Oh, okay.
So as you leave the basement of this burnout tavern, there's a little proof for you there, apart from cigarette ash and blood ash and cigar ash. But who's going to be looking for that, really? Let's be honest. Of course. You're making your way to the car factory. All of you go to the sort of automobile factory there. It's sort of the next staging point. Is that right?
I think the plan is go to the apartment, and since the drop-off's in an hour, come right back. But if things go wrong, we'll head to the factory.
That's right. Okay, that's sort of the alternative hiding spot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you'll start making your way towards Green Gables. Like I said before, it's a rainy day. Obviously, you may have to sort of pull your cap down to avoid getting rain on that beautiful moustache. The rest of you, are you dressed for the weather, or are you perhaps getting soaked? Or
You know that thing that Centerfold did, where his like stand hovered over him almost invisibly, and like the rain dripped.
I've got like the exact same raincoat that Solid Snake had in MGS2.
Nice. I'll probably do the
Unlike
invisible stand thing.
you gents, Vasilii has an actual umbrella.
Nice.
Bats did not come prepared. His cigar is immediately put out by the rain. Shit. And he tosses it off to the side of the corner.
He is not sharing his umbrella, by the way.
Is there a car?
I nudge Bats and I say, "Don't worry, I got another one for you."
Raincoat?
No, cigar.
Ah, damn it.
He tries to light that one as well. It also goes out.
Did they prepare a car for driver?
They have not been able to sort of get anything really across the Biltmore apart from you. It is sort of what you can procure once you're in, basically. They've barely been able to get this exfiltration.
Don't worry, I can hotwire a car if needed.
Are there any cars on the street?
Well, some parked ones, but this specific area, even though it's sort of abandoned, there are vehicles going past every so often. So there is, of course, a possibility you'll be spotted. And you're a strange-looking group, to be frank. There's a Stasi agent. There's a guy with I believe you have a baseball bat sheath behind your back. Bats.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat?
see, these
that?
three
You
are
cut out
simply prisoners I'm taking into custody alongside, or
I see.
I forgot what it's called.
You, Clarence Bell, the guy.
Are you sure you're
Yes.
supposed to be an expert at this, Regent?
I believe I'm the most expert one here.
Right. Driver, you
So,
said you can hotwire
I'm
something?
already making plans to infiltrate the building.
Perfect.
Okay, so
If Driver picks out a car, I'll rip off the license plate so it's not easy to track.
so you're getting a car first. Is that how we're beginning?
Assuming that's how he wants to handle this, I'll leave that up to Jack.
It's not too far away on foot, right?
It's not. No, the car is not.
It's
vital.
probably best to go on foot first.
Okay, if you think we can spare the time.
Yeah.
What about this? Driver, you said you could care about one person out, right?
Yeah, until I inevitably have to use a learning point to get like a fucking sidecar, but yeah.
Okay. Here's my idea. Now just listen to me. We extract Bell. The rest of us fight our way out on foot. You take him back to the place. We all meet back up at the factory. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
Seems.
One little
Rest
thing
of
I'll
you,
have to
you all-
take care of
now listen,
first.
I don't know what your stands are exactly, and to be honest, I don't really care. But we are all capable of fighting out our way of that building, correct?
Yep.
Correct. Just one little detail I'll have to take care of before we arrive. And he turns his head, and when he turns it back, you see it's a different face.
Regent?
Yes?
Interesting. So I assume this is you using your standard power. Is that correct?
Yes, he's using his stand.
So if you don't mind, we're gonna do the first roll to determine the quality of your face. Whether you're perhaps if you get a noble visage.
It's
or-
gonna look like Oingo, isn't it?
Alright.
It could. That worst result is it can end up looking like.
So
What
after
would
you
you have?
after you tell him what to roll and before he rolls, you have to declare a DC based on difficulty.
Absolutely, no
And
problem.
there should be a table for that in here of difficulty.
Yes, let me get it up. So we didn't mention this before. We're using a different system for this campaign. We're going to be using Bizarre Adventures D6 with some custom homebrew shit that I've got secret.
What would you have him roll? Precision?
Let me see. Well, we've rolled 2 stats for each thing here, and this is, to be honest, this is mostly just to sort of get roll that in here, just so we can establish how this all works. So this is going to be a DC of 2 for challenging, and depending on how far above that you get, that's your handsome face. And I would ask you to do your precision and your
That's like
and
charisma.
no, well, you're not convincing the face. I would say maybe your well, finesse is precision plus speed. So let's try that. Precision and speed. I need to get 2.
Alright, so that's 1 success. So that is a fail.
Unfortunately, Vasilii turns back to look at the rest of you, and you have no choice but to recoil as you see what is technically a human expression looking at you, but is quite grotesque. It's got a flattened nose, not in the sense that it's like up, it's just sort of like the width is wrong, basically. It's just sort of like MS Paint stretched against the face. The eyes are way too far apart. The lips are just like constantly frowning to such a degree it's almost like a mustache of lip tissue. And the hair is shaggy and wrong.
Oh, I thought you were supposed to be a special test in this kind of material. What the
Wait.
hell is that?
Vasilii suddenly has a question for the voice in his head.
Yes, my child.
He thought, wait, wasn't any roll above like a 3 a success? I thought that's how it worked.
Only with
No.
advantages. It's 5 or 6 is a success normally, and then with advantages that gets lowered.
Oh, thank you,
So-
voice in my head.
No worries. I didn't help, but okay.
Hey, Regent, please do me a favor.
Yes.
Don't look at me while that's going on. Just kind of.
Don't
What are you
worry.
talking about? I'm simply making myself unrecognizable.
Look, I'll
Normally, I'd be
try to find it.
my
If
handsome face would be too distinctive.
Listen, if this plane, while this plane goes to shit, I'll try to infiltrate through a back entrance.
Okay, so there is a back entrance to the apartment building where you circle it. We've reached the apartment building at this point, by the way, so I'll just briefly describe like what you see as you're on the other side of the street first. It's very blocky. It's a lot of these apartments have balcony entrances, you notice straight away. There's a main front entrance where a security guard is sort of sitting back in a little booth looking bored. Not asleep, but very much bored and flicking through a newspaper. There is a back entrance when you sort of surreptitiously circle around, and you do see a back door, but it has been sort of nailed shut with boards. It doesn't seem like there's an official capacity, but it seems like just for convenience sake, someone has nailed it shut to prevent perhaps burglaries or anything like. Maybe the lock's broken, you can't really say.
Alright, so drivers around back. Slugger, are you and I with Regent?
Of course.
And from your position here, you can see those businesses mentioned sort of around, a lot of them abandoned. The church tower sort of off a street or so away, but with a good view of everything from the position of the bell tower there.
Do I see any guards?
Apart from the security guard you see at the front, I'll need to ask you to roll as well then. I would ask you to roll, let me see.
I assume wit.
Yeah, wit is going to be in there. I would say wit and reason. And before you roll, let me just get the. You will need a 3 on this.
2 successes.
It's a 2.
So yeah, you notice the guard at the front entrance there, but you don't see anything else worth noting.
I'll get a recording of the guard at the front entrance.
Okay, bear in mind he's in a sort of sitting position here, flicking through some newspaper, so what you'll get is him sort of sitting on an invisible chair, flicking through an invisible newspaper.
I think I can record the chair too.
Okay.
I'm not gonna, I don't think my stand is stupid.
Okay, I'm just going to say, well, he's in a booth, so for your position, you'll have to sort of imagine most of the chair.
Yeah.
But perhaps it's less detailed than the rest.
Yeah, I'll put him in like a plastic chair.
Okay.
Like the fucking Virgil chair.
So you've caught your first Pokemon, you have Garden Chair flicking through newspaper.
For the infiltration, Chelsea's not going to say anything. She's going to let Regent handle this since he's supposedly got the plan for how to get them in.
Yes. Regent's plan is quite simple, you see. Posing as a Stasi agent, he's gonna deliver you two into prison as his convicts.
But this isn't a prison, it's a hotel.
It's a prison if you know the right people.
What?
Just let him cook.
Chelsea doesn't necessarily have a reason to think he's incompetent yet, so she's gonna go with it until this goes horribly wrong. She's just like, whatever you say, Regent, lead the way.
I'm assuming you have a weapon on you, Regent.
Oh yes, and he chose his first weapon, his fist, and then his second, his other fist.
Don't worry, I've got guns.
Chelsea rolls her eyes and kind of nods to Slugger, and she pulls up her pant leg a tiny bit, and there's something that looks kind of like a gun tucked into her shoe, and then she slides it back down.
That's scandalous.
Oh, hey, maybe you want to give that over to Regent. I mean, he's taking in hostages, but with what? You know, it's gonna look stupid.
He wouldn't be able to use it. It's not a typical gun.
But I know how to use a firearm. You just press the trigger.
Well, how the fuck are you apprehending us? I mean, you're just gonna walk in there with us trailing behind you? It looks stupid. That's what I just said.
If they question it, I'll expand on the story.
Jesus Christ. This is why I work alone, right?
Yeah, this is why I decided to infiltrate through the back.
Okay, so you're going through the back, and other guys are going through the front then with your little Chewbacca plan.
I'll
Yes,
play
the
along
front
with
door.
Regent's plan for as long as it works, and then I think she will act on her own. Because I think
Okay.
now it's starting to turn in her head like this guy has no clue what he's doing.
So as you're
Yeah.
circling, so driver, as you're going through the back, so at the moment you're circling around the building to get there.
Yeah.
While that's happening, the Chewbacca strategy unfolds as Vasilii, you take Chelsea and Bats to the front entrance where this guard he looks up first lazily from the booth and then slams his newspaper shut, puts it away and sits up as he notices your uniform, and then his eyes widen and there's like his nostrils flare in shock as more than that he sees your face and the quality thereof. Sir, I didn't know anyone else would be coming. Good afternoon to you.
Vasilii nods, and he makes sure to keep his face in prominent view of this guy the whole time. Yes, I'm simply checking in some guests.
Yes, well,
If
I
you
wouldn't-
catch my drift.
your colleagues haven't mentioned anything about it. It's perfectly fine, of course, but I thought this
Special
was meant
orders.
to be
We're doing
top
it pen and paper. You should receive a parcel within a day or two.
Okay. So this guy is intimidated by you and your being. So I'm going to need you to make a DC of 1 with a roll of persuade, which is reason and menacing here.
Oh God, this reason.
Reason?
He will. Rather than try to logic his way, I would like to have Vasilii, just casually be flexing his physique, which, despite the face, seems quite muscular.
You want to do well? You can also amaze this guy with menacing and precision if you'd like.
Or
If you want to,
bamboozle him with wit and menacing.
I would like to amaze him with my illustrious face.
I think he's trying to convince you to let him use body.
Well, it's going to
Yes,
be
that's what I
menacing
meant.
and precision. Anyway, I'm sorry. Actually, no, you can pose. That's my mistake. You can pose with body and menacing to sort of menacing him.
All right,
The kanji will
posing,
appear
let's
around
go.
you. And you need this is a DC of 1, so you've already done it. Yeah, you've
Yeah.
Actually-
went 2 above.
Not only did he succeed, he got 4 above, so he gets to overpose. So he gets to narrate how well he succeeds.
Yeah, so you tell me how this guard responds to your menacing as fuck pose.
Now, as this guy, as he is sauntering in, the face brings back memories, the guard, of when he was a child, and of the face his father used to make as he beat him with his belt.
My God.
Jesus Christ.
He's helpless to resist. He knows only how to obey this type of face.
Please, go ahead, sir. His eyes are far away in that dark chapter of his life.
Vasilii
well.
reassures him, tapping him on the shoulder as he passes by.
Once
You've done well.
He
son.
rubs his shoulder idly as you move past with your 2 prisoners in tow. Or perhaps in front, who knows?
Once we
And you,
enter into the building, Chelsea taps the pager once to beep that they're in for everyone to know.
Driver, as you're reaching the back door, you hear the beep in your pocket.
Alright.
So, driver, you have reached the back door of the apartment building. Like I mentioned, it's sort of covered over with planks, nails shut.
Oh, there's one thing I'd like to add.
Okay.
As they get in, Vasilii gives the 2 of them a look. A wordless look that basically says, "See, I told you that would work."
I thought I asked you not to look at me while you're like that.
He ignored. He forgot the request.
I'm trying not to vomit here, okay? Can you turn back around?
Driver, you have reached the back door of the Green Gables apartment complex. It's nailed shut, as I mentioned, with planks. That, of course, is not much of an obstacle to someone with an ability of most kinds, especially one such as yours. And then you seem to have picked a good moment. As far as you can sense, there's no one watching. There's no civilians nearby. This is, like I said, a sparsely populated bit of town here. And you seem to have slipped in at just the perfect time to, if you wish, use this door to get in through the back.
No air ducts or anything?
We can have a look around for air ducts if you prefer.
I don't know how much time we have, so it might be best to just try and open the door if I don't immediately see one.
You do see one when you look around, but it is one that's sort of attached to the second floor, so it would have got a little bit of climbing there to sort of get into the vents. if that's something you're willing to do, of course you can do so.
Hmm. I guess I can maybe have my stand lift myself up to reach it, couldn't I?
You can absolutely do that if you so wish.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Okay, I'm going to need you to roll body and reason for stealth here.
Never mind. If I'm rolling body, never mind. I'll take the fucking door then.
Okay. Well, I'm opening the door. I am going to have to ask you to again do stealth here, which
Okay.
is the body plus reason.
Don't
And,
fear the
what-
low rolls. Embrace
I thought
them.
you told me. Wait, I thought you told me when we were testing the dice yesterday that I could use my wit or
Well,
pluck for stealth.
If you want to, well, there are different sort of kinds of stuff you can
Yeah,
do. If you can
okay.
persuade me of a certain role, I will of course let you do it.
Okay.
Don't fear the low roll, Jack. Just go for it.
All right.
Embrace.
So what role will you try and convince me of? What's your argument? Give it to me. In what manner are you using the wit here?
I'm using my wit to immediately come up with solutions to like problems, like fast thinking my way through stealth. Like if you play MGS, like
Just sort
immediately
of-
picking out like tools you can use to your advantage.
Okay, so you're sort of doing your rapid brain blast here, basically.
Yeah.
So I'll say maybe wit and pluck for impulse then. And
Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
You'll want there's a DC of 3 for this.
One.
2.
God damn it.
So, are you trying to get through the door or the bed at this point? If you're
It's the door.
okay, the door. So as your stand is like coming out as quickly as possible, like unscrewing the nails with its fingers there, you and your party heading inside the building. You both hear at the same time a resounding bang, and in a sound that is immediately familiar to all of you as a gunshot.
Ooh, good
And
transition.
I'm going to need another roll from you, Dante. In this case, that roll would be, well, you're basically trying to avoid a projectile here. So you tell me how you'd like to try and do so.
As this gunshot rings out, I summon my stand with its superior speed, which wraps around me like fucking power armor.
Oh, and so what does your stand look like while we're doing this?
It kind of looks like a retro mecha kind of thing. It looks like almost like a retroified transformer. It has like tape wheels on certain parts of it, and in a lot of ways it very much resembles a tape recorder as it is right now.
Right. Okay. And what? So you just try to sort of tank it with your stand armor?
Oh no, I'm trying to move out of the way.
Okay, you're gonna try and dodge here.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
I believe that's body and wit for dodge.
Body and wit. Let me just check. Yeah, body and wit. So you're gonna try and throw yourself out the path of this projectile, and it's gonna be a tough one because you've already heard the gunshot. So this is taking place in like unbelievably fast time, and that will be a DC again of 3 for
Well,
this.
won't this be an opposed roll for combat?
Oh yes, absolutely. You're absolutely correct. Let me get the stats for this other
That's
party
a
up.
3.
So,
Oh, that's a 4.
so
okay,
if he's
so-
sniping, it would be pluck and precision.
Yes, a blocking position from this
And
unknown party.
after this session, I'm going to use the 1 respec I have allowed to me. Just letting you know now.
Okay. So this unknown party is going to be rolling the pluck in precision. So 2d6. Well, I don't know. I'm just telling you all the stats, but you're going to find out in a second anyway. Well, in this case, it's just going to be their pluck really, because they do not have precision for certain reasons. And so they have no possibility of actually hitting you with this. You've actually done very well. So you throw yourself out of the way, and the second after you do so, what seems to be some sort of tranquilizer dart lodges in the wall where you were just standing. And you can see as you're sort of getting like how majestic of a dodge would you say this is? You're just throwing yourself to the ground. You like go into a roll, or
it's like because I rolled like a fucking 4. I think what happens here is that it's like fucking Vamp from Metal Gear Solid, where I literally just like twirl out of the fucking way.
Absolutely. And as you're doing so in your majestic fashion, you see the glint of light from the bell tower of the abandoned church that you were familiar with earlier, where it seems a sniper is positioned. And you can see hear shouts from nearby streets, sort of shouts of authority and discipline. It seems Stasi agents, perhaps even, in the neighbouring area have now been alerted to you guys' presence. Or at least to Driver's presence.
I immediately use the pager to warn them, but I'm not going to move towards them. As right now, since they're focused on me, that means I can keep their attention off of my teammates.
Right, okay. So we're going to jump back into the apartment building now. As you three are like making your way down the corridor, all your pages sort of go crazy as you are alerted by Driver. And of course, you heard the gunshot moments ago earlier as well.
As the pager rings, Lily says, "Oh my, it seems we had it trashed."
Wait, we haven't picked up Bell yet. That means Driver must be in trouble. Slugger, can you handle it?
Handle it what? You want me to go back there?
Go outside and see what's going on. I can handle things with Regent here.
All right. I'm gonna run out. Tam, what does the interior of this apartment look like where we're standing?
The apartment building, it's not nice, to be honest. You saw some rats scurrying around as you came in. You're pretty sure you saw a dead rat in one of the corners. The sort of blue, sort of rough carpet beneath your feet, grotty wallpaper on the walls. A lot of these apartments, the doors are just sort of swinging open. There's no one in there. There's no one who's going to rent out these shitty places. And it is a little bit cramped in these corridors as well. It's thin corridors, so you just barely avoid going single file if you're making your way down with a group.
All right. In that case, I'm going to turn back towards my team and go, all right, I'll go out there. You guys extract them, bring them to the factory. You got me?
Understood.
All right. And I'm going to run back to the place where Driver is.
Okay, so we'll go back to them soon enough, but if you guys recall from your mission briefing, you have been told Bell is being held in apartment 209, so one floor up.
What do you think, Regent? Stairs or elevator?
It's the second floor. Of course we take the stairs.
Good, let's go. She's gonna start running.
Okay, so you make your way up the stairs, the apartment 209. So you can hear, as you're approaching this apartment, loud conversation from inside between, it sounds like two people, one male, one female. Can't quite make out specific words, unless you want to try and strain and get more detail. But you can hear that it seems to be one party sounding unconcerned, one party sounding very much alerted, presumably by the different factors. If we have the
So we're like looking through the, like, I forget what it's called, but a tiny window thingy on the door.
People?
Yes, that's
people,
it.
I don't know how good that would. The people, I'm pretty sure, is for outside. It's that looking out.
It's outside in.
You can try the keyhole if you'd like. That offers the risk of.
Real quick, is the door locked?
It will be difficult to tell without trying it, which of course would alert whoever's in there that you're trying the door.
I'll try it, absolutely.
The door is locked, and the conversation stops.
Stigma, do you mind if I handle this out of character real quick?
If you guys have that Google whiteboard open, I just want to sort of illustrate the layout of this little area right now.
I forgot to open the whiteboard, I'm sorry. I had it on my other computer too. Let me get that real quick.
So I'll get it right away. Yeah, this is the hallway you're in.
I don't see anything on any of the boards. I'm on one.
I just did it. Control session 1 you're in?
Oh yes, I see it now.
So this is apartment 209. Let me fucking get up here. Here, neighbouring the hallway, apartment 2, and then oh my god, why did it go off the tool?
Oh, I should have been
apartment
recording
2.
the Jamboard.
210 here, 208, so on and so forth. These are all sort of neighbouring outside as well, so you've got presumably got balconies, and you guys are standing outside 209 here.
All right. Stigma, do you mind if I take this one, or do you want Vasilii to handle it?
She has no clue who Stigma is, but Vasilii, after looking through the keyhole, says,
"That is you."
You said you were muscle, did you not?
Yes.
Let's see what you've got.
So Chelsea is going to reach into her suit pocket, and she's going to pull out what is unmistakably like a finger bone, like just straight up like a phalanges, and she's gonna press it into the keyhole for a moment, and you see this sort of like green light around it as it starts to contort. And she's got what she's basically.
As you're doing this, by the way, you can hear footsteps approaching the door from the other side as you're doing this, just so you are aware.
Absolutely. And she's gonna push it in. She's basically gonna try and transform it as it goes to get the feelers of the locket and essentially make a skeleton key.
Oh, very nice. Right. So do we steal your stand while you're doing this? Or?
No. She's very intent about trying not to reveal that for plot reasons.
Right. So yeah, let's see. I'll need a roll for this, of course.
Absolutely. You tell me what, Doc.
We're gonna have a look.
I will not shy away regardless of the stats.
Your resolve. Okay. So you're basically
calling me out there, Darnell. I'll admit to my cowardice.
So I would say it's finesse, so speed and precision, I would say, and what you're wanting is a 2 here.
Alright, so that'll be 66. Any advantages? Perhaps a tactical advantage?
Go on then, yeah, sure, have a tactical. So, just so you guys, if anyone hypothetically was watching, an advantage in this case is a widening of the success rolls. So right now, a 5 and a 6 would be class of success, with an advantage that we 4, 5, and 6 there are successes. But let's see if it's even necessary rather than you roll.
Alright, so that lands with 2 hits. That's a success, right?
That's right, though, yes, so you...
Oh wait, actually, what was the DC again?
A 2.
In that case, something bizarre happens.
Okay, so you click, and you go to open the door, and it seems the person on the other side also at the same time goes to open the door. You both... One goes to pull, one goes to push, but it seems that one of you is doing it the wrong way, and the door does not open either side. One of you is stopping the other. And it's a sort of an awkward moment, as both of you have it absolutely confirmed that someone on both sides of this door.
I fucking release my grip and let my body fall back so the door swings open.
The door swings open.
Vasilii join in on this.
In what fashion?
He bluffs. He attempts to bluff the guard on the other side, making it look as if he just tackled.
So you just sort of leap onto your teammate here.
Yes, he's bluffing that he just tackled this escapee.
Interesting. I'd say it's menacing and speed trying to confound this other party.
All right.
Menacing and speed, and you're going to need a roll of 3 for this. A DC of 3 even.
Why are you getting on top of me? You're so ugly right now. Oh wow! 6 success overpose.
Absolutely overpose. You are a fucking hero of the Stasi. You've tackled this criminal to the ground, and as the door opens, you can see the guard looking down. It's a woman in sort of plain clothes, but clearly with some sort of military bearing, with sort of a tight black coat and blonde hair tied back into a ponytail. She looks down, sort of alert for a second, but it seems that she buys your... Well, tell us how she perceives this, Stigma, with your overpose. How does she see this hero of the Ministry of State Security?
Yes. You know, the Great War 30 years ago affected us all, but as she sees this distinguished-looking visage, looming over this vile infiltrator from the decadent West, she realizes the face resembles that of her great uncle, twice removed, who she fought disappeared
during the war.
the
same person as the guard's dad.
What?
I'm trying to imagine it's the same person as the guard's dad. It's just actually the same person.
That's up to interpretation.
Okay.
I imagine what probably helps is like Chelsea's glowering because this clearly wasn't part of her plan, but it kind of plays into like she's been caught.
Vasilii did not communicate his intent.
Right, okay.
And he says, we're under attack.
Get your hands off me! And she's like trying to squirm out of his grip.
Attack, I heard the gunshots. It's true then. Did one of them try coming in through...
Came from downstairs.
One of them has tried breaking in. She looks at you, she goes, we weren't told anyone else would be coming. And she sort of looks around as if worried that anyone else would be hearing from her, which is strange for a secret police officer. She sort of leans over and goes, you're from the KGB? Popov sent you?
Yes. Special assignment.
Come in quickly, we have him.
Quick.
Do we know who she is?
Quick. We have to fortify the room. Close the door behind us.
Okay, as she sort of bustles you in, she closes the door. She goes, what about this woman? It's probably best if I incapacitate with my stand.
Don't worry, I'll take care of it myself.
As she's talking with Vasilii and distracted, you see like behind her appears this like pale, like gross flesh peeling off arm with a big shovel, and it raises the shovel and whacks her hard on the back of the head.
Okay, that's going to be a sneak attack then.
That's going to be a ruse, I think.
Yeah, that's
an advantage.
Absolutely. You have an advantage on this because that's fucking sick. And let me just see what.
How many advantages?
There's one. There's one advantage.
Okay.
Fuck.
Fair enough.
Right,
so you
maybe a
ruse?
bamboozle for that. Maybe.
You tell me what to roll, and I will follow.
I would say bamboozle, which is wit and menacing here.
All right, let me double check those. So that's gonna be.
It's been a opposed roll against her own. Let me have a look.
All right, and 4 is a success. So 1, 2, 3, 4,
Her own
5.
impulse. So she's going to be rolling wit and pluck.
All right, I got 5 successes.
Okay, let's see what she does with a total of 66. So.
Hell no. Take the hit.
Yeah, she takes the hit in the back of the head, and she sort of staggers back. You intend to knock it out. It doesn't seem to have done it in one hit, but she looks up, and as she staggers down to the ground, that was a bad hit to the back of the head. She yells out something incoherent, maybe someone's name, and you notice, of course, that you've executed the sneak attack sort of second game, and you are not alone in this apartment. There's sort of through to the side, through sort of an open plan dining room, there's a man tied in a choker bag over his head. His clothes covered in blood, his skin covered in tiny, almost uselessly tiny cuts. And there's someone sort of crouched over him, wielding a strange dagger. This person is much less sort of inconspicuous as this first person. It's a sleepy-looking young man. He's wearing a weird tracksuit. So rather than one zipper going down the middle, there's 2 zippers forming a kind of X, and a black beanie. He has loose blonde hair and red eyes, and he's holding in his hand a ornate dagger with a thin golden blade and a red ruby built into the hilts. And he sort of goes to stand up as he realizes they're under attack. So before battle begins here, because the battle is sort of imminent here, we're going to go back downstairs to. Bats, as you burst out the front door to back up driver, you see the driver has been sort of surrounded on 2 sides. There's 2 Stasi agents in uniform pointing pistols at him, barking orders to get down on the ground. They haven't noticed you yet. So I am going to say this is, as things stand right now, a 3 versus 2 in this battle.
I have my hands up, pretending to comply with orders. But Tan, real quick, I want to create a recording of one of them.
Absolutely. So as you bring us out and do that, no one seems to notice. It seems that the enemies you're facing right now are not stam users.
Interesting.
My logic here is that I want to draw this distraction out as long as possible for the rest of the team to be able to extract Bell. So I'm going to, by the way, Tan, is the security guard in the front of the apartment doing anything? The one that Regent scared.
He's lost in his trauma.
Okay.
So real quick,
All right.
for audience benefit, if there's 3 enemies versus Slugger and Driver, how it'll go is like Driver will go, enemy react, enemy, then Slugger, then enemy, and then Driver again, and then the next round instead Slugger would get 2 turns if it keeps going. Because the turns
so an
go
extra
back
turn will be
over.
swapped between you two as you two see fit.
Yes.
Ken, where is the third Stasi officer?
The,
So
s-
there's
the
2
sniper
holding
is
up,
over in
and
the
there's-
church.
Yeah, there's a sniper in the bell tower.
That's right. Okay. I'm going to eye up those ones, and would I be able to see or have any indication of the sniper or no?
Their exact position, you got a good idea there's a sniper from the sound of that gunshot earlier. Let's see, I would be a... I would
Probably
say...
roll like probably roll to see like the glint of the
That's what I'm
scope.
thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bit difficult because, it's, as I said, it's a rainy day. There's not much sunlight there. But wit and reason, I would say, to roll here. And you'll want to get a 3.
Wit and range?
Wit and reason.
Oh,
to
reason.
perceive where he is.
Yeah, you're looking for
Outside
that glint
combat
of
rolls.
light off the scope here.
Okay.
You can spend
Yeah, if you
luck
s-
if you want to give yourself an advantage on it, but it costs. Well, do you have enough luck for that? Actually, you do. If you declare it before you roll, you can spend 2 to give free advantage.
Yeah.
I would like to do that.
Absolutely. So 4, 5, or 6 will count as a success here.
Okay.
You didn't
Oh.
do it right. Just put 66.
Okay.
2 hits, unfortunately.
So yeah, you don't quite see it. You from the so you from the direction of the gun, you can tell it's in the direction of the church, but you cannot see an exact location of the sniper.
I'm looking directly at where the sniper shot came from, and I'm trying to think of a way out of this. Dispatching these 2 would be beyond easy,
Yes,
but
absolutely.
taking that sniper is another question.
With my indication that it's coming from the church, I have an idea that it's coming from the church, correct?
Yes,
like,
from the
I just
direction
can't
of
see-
the
okay.
shot you heard originally.
I'm gonna run towards the church then.
Okay. Yeah, so as you're running towards the church, then it seems, are you making an effort to like do the stealthily, or are you just charging for it?
I'm charging because I want to create as much of a distraction as possible.
Yeah, so the sniper does no issue here, and there's another bang of a gunshot. There, you hear inside as well as they fire towards bats who will.
Do the 2 agents beside me get the, hear that gunshot and get distracted?
They do. They flinch instinctively. They're still focused on you, but they have a natural.
In that brief moment when they flinch, that is all the time I need with my superior speed.
Okay.
And
so,
with-
I assume the sniper roll will go first versus his reaction,
Yeah.
and then your attack.
yeah, we'll
Yeah.
do this versus bats. Then you can use that as for advantage. Okay. So he's firing towards you, bats. How do you want to handle that situation?
Yeah, what's your reaction?
I'm going. It's a sniper shot, so there really isn't going to be much I could do. I'm going to attempt to instinctually tackle roll out of the way, but I don't know if that's going to be fast enough to combat an actual bullet. I mean, the way that I'm going to be running is sort of zigzag, but
You
the
could
shot's already been fired.
you could do a dodge, or maybe you could roll race and try and get farther than the bullet's aimed at.
Yeah, I'm just gonna roll for something that would allow me to dodge it.
Okay,
Like,
so
while
okay,
I'm
Speed
wit.
and pluck is for racing.
Yeah, so I would say your options are body and wit, which is dodge, or pluck and speed, which is race here. That's what I would recommend.
Okay.
Either one of those is what I would recommend, though.
I will do pluck and speed then.
Okay,
Alright,
and
then-
do we want to get a 3 for this? Because it is,
Well,
as you
shouldn't
say,
the
a
enemy
booking
roll
bullet.
his attack versus him?
Oh, yes, you're absolutely right. Sorry about that. We're still
You're
getting
good.
into this.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to shadow DM you or anything. Just trying to introduce the combat.
It's fine. We all need to get used to it.
Hell yeah! All right, as long as
So
yeah, I just don't want to be overbearing.
he's going to try and match you with his own wit here, because he does not have, this poor boy does not have the stat of precision, because he is not a stand user.
No stand.
So you've got a one success there and one there. So something weird is going to happen.
I think what happens, maybe like his sniper jams.
Oh, sorry, I was misreading that. That was your previous roll that I was looking at. Yeah, so you race past it. It strikes your shadow, which you hate having touched, of course, as you dodge the gunshot and enter and sort of charge in through one of the broken, absent stained glass windows of the abandoned church, out of the line of fire.
And just for reference, Tan, the bizarre thing happens on 0 for skill DCs, but for hits, it's just not a hit goes through.
Okay, so I'm gonna. We at this point we should have sort of a turn order sort of noted down here.
So I think the obvious order would be something like enemy, and then driver, enemy, and then slugger, and then enemy, and then driver, and then next round it'll be 2 for slugger.
Okay. Yeah.
So the sniper just went. So probably
who wants the extra turn in this first round? Is what I'll ask you.
We both. It's like 4 turns for both of our parties in total, isn't it?
It's just back and forth based on how many there are, and then if one party has more, that team gets.
So in this case, because there's 3 enemies.
Yeah, but I'm asking like it's you like the parties get an equal amount of turns, but it's 4 turns for both parties in total, isn't it?
Not necessarily. I think it's just the example.
Whoever's the biggest side, the other side gets turns to match that.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So in this case, each round, you two can decide among yourselves which one of you two gets the extra turn.
Dune, do you mind if I get the extra turn so that I can take out both of these guys? Okay.
Yeah, take them out.
I feel like I should get at least 1 advantage because...
Completely, we agreed on this, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the turn order for the first one, but maybe not actually, because like you said, you've got that little thing here. You've got to have the first reaction. It's got to be driver, Stasi agent. Oh, what the fuck have I just done? Let me just rewrite that whole thing.
Yeah, I think the sniper went first, so here, I got you.
Yeah.
Sniper, driver, Stasi, slugger, Stasi, driver.
Do I get both hype and ruse, or do I only get one of them?
I would say just ruse here.
Okay. It's not rule of cool to you. Okay, I see.
Well, what are you doing? We have to know how cool it is.
Tell me what you do if it's cool. I'll give you.
Okay. In the instant they are distracted, that is all the time I need with my superior speed. And in the blink of an eye, I will try to take one of them. I will try to take one of them out, and confuse the other one by projecting an illusion of his friend still being okay.
Pretty cool. So if you do this success, that will I'll give you a ruse advantage on the next guy as well if you pull this off.
Yeah.
So I'd say this is bamboozle, which is wit and menacing here.
And then before he rolls? What's the Stasi doing to react? So he has to.
The Stasi, of course. Well, you're using the stand to do it. He cannot see the stand, so I might even give him disadvantage for this because he's.
How are you taking him out, Jad?
You said to take him out. In what fashion?
My stand has like blades on it, which I can use to like quickly slit his throat and drop his body to the floor.
Meanwhile, he's just going to sort of pull the trigger and try and shoot you, which is just going to be, in this case, his body and wits.
So how that works then as a counterattack is that means no matter what Jack rolls, he will take a hit. But
he has no possibility of dodging attack he cannot receive.
But if he rolls higher than Jack, then Jack also takes a hit. I'm just narrating the mechanics for the audience.
So he's going to roll his person, so you need to beat his 2 successes there.
I have an advantage, so I get a little more than 2. That's 3 successes.
Yeah, you got 3. So he takes the hit and he doesn't deal 1 back.
Yeah, so as he points the gun and pulls the trigger, at that moment a big dash appears on his throat, and the second that your sort of after image, so to speak, of him appears, and the jerk of his body, involuntary spasm, sort of sends the bullet he fires going wide, missing you and hitting the wall behind you instead. As they collapse to the floor, his friend sort of looks over confused because he just heard that, but you can also see him standing there fine.
And he sees him. From the way it's positioned, can I have it be like I'm standing behind the hologram of him, and so it looks like I'm disappeared and he hasn't seen his friend's corpse yet?
Well,
Can
my
I, like-
understanding was that they're just both on the same side of you pointing guns at you, so that's going to be a
Okay.
bit weird spatially.
All right, so
Okay, don't worry about it.
one of the Stasis are out now, right?
Yeah.
So that
Yeah,
means we can
okay.
just simplify the roll to a 2v2, so now it goes to the next Stasi.
Okay, so the next he goes. He doesn't quite understand what's happened, but he understands that you're not complying because something just fucking happened. And again, he's going to try and pull the trigger. Sort of, he's panicked though. He's screaming in terror, and as I mentioned, he has a disadvantage, which I'm pretty sure is even in the rules. We just sort of invented that already. But
Alright,
You
and
have to
then what is your reaction to before? Well, alright, he already.
so whatever you do, yes, whatever you do here, you need to be a 1 with this.
As he is firing wildly in terror, not understanding what is happening, I predict this is going to wildly decrease his accuracy, giving me an opportunity to get up to like speed around behind him and slit his throat.
Keep in mind, if you're doing a counterattack, he automatically gets the hit in. But you can deal a hit back.
Oh, okay. I'll just try to evade the bullets then.
Okay. Is that going to be a normal dodge then, or you try and
because he's trying to get behind him.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
there
let you
is
do a
siege
dodge and also get behind and position yourself for next time.
Yeah.
So that's body and speed.
Okay.
And that has to be a 1, so let's be honest, this is probably going to happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my god, it's a 4. It's immediately just like Jojo, your dagger is your weakness.
So I might allow you to actually do a hit here with your overpose. If you can describe it to me.
As he fires his gun wildly, it pierces into the hologram of his friend, and the hologram displays sort of like an edited recreation of me slitting his throat, but with bullet holes punching through it, and he falls to the ground. And as he's trying to understand what just happened, he sees 2 bodies of his friend, one of them of which he just killed. The fucking, like, menacing symbols, like, crawl across the screen as I'm standing behind him. My stand Proto-Man unsheathes its blade and stabs it straight through his chest.
It's like, but there's nothing stopping me.
Jotaro, your daughter is your weakness.
God, your friend is your weakness.
I adjusted it so it's just Sniper now, so next should be Slugger, then Sniper Driver, Sniper Slugger.
Absolutely. So Slugger, you've just entered this abandoned church through the broken, missing window. It's seen better days. The pew has been smashed long ago. It seems the pews even have been smashed long ago. The altar rests on its side. There's a spiral staircase going up towards the bell tower, and you can hear feet moving up there. Presumably the sniper is adjusting his position right now.
Gotcha.
Presumably he doesn't know that you are coming for him, though.
Okay. All right. So he didn't see me run into the building.
Oh, he does. He does know you're coming for him.
Okay. I'm going to overlay my stand's arm over mine, and you would see it is a sort of red and white cannon resembling. And I'm going to, with that overlay, I'm going to run up the stairs.
Okay. So as you're running up the stairs, this is sort of a this is going to be, he has done something, and I'm going to roll for what he has done, and then you'll roll to react. The nature of what he has done means I cannot tell you in advance about it.
Okay.
So he will be rolling, based on what he is capable of. Let's see.
A dodge is body and weight.
His wit and reason here, which is an 8d6 for this man.
Alright, and then what is our friend Slugger rolling?
So 3, okay, and what you will want to roll for, you're looking to notice something basically. So if I would say that's maybe an intelligence there, or if you have an alternate, it'll be anticipate. Reason and speed is what you want here, and you want to beat it 3.
Okay. Reason and speed. So
I can't
6.
believe
I
he's
believe in
rolling
you.
on you during your turn, shaking my head.
Oh, that's not a hit.
You do not anticipate it. As you're charging up the stairs, here, as you lift one, as you're right at the top of the stairs, and you lift your foot to take a step up, you hear it as a wire snaps from the pressure of your leg moving through it. And a second later, you hear a horrible click sound as the pin is pulled out of the grenade that's lodged on the wall. That's been on sort of the out of your sight until you get out the stairs. And there's a boom, a blast, a grenade blast from the position. Luckily, you aren't blown to pieces, but you're blown back down the stairs, landing in a heap at the bottom. But maybe it's a spouse because like halfway down the stairs, you land, taking a hit.
So was that a counterattack to Billy's action? Or not Billy, I'm so sorry.
No,
Slugger?
he laid the trap basically, and he did not anticipate the trap as he went up the stairs.
I see. Okay. Does Slugger still get his round, or does it go back to Sniper?
I would say I messed up a little bit because his action didn't have had a counter action there, but okay. But no, sorry, the action was anticipating it. Counter action was placing the trap technically, so it is now Slugger's turn, I believe.
Sure. So
Okay.
He took a hit from that, right?
Yeah, you took a hit from that, yes.
You got 2 left before you retired for the session. Or for the fight. I think it's actually based on the fight.
Okay. So I scream as I lodge myself back from the wall and kind of struggle to get up, clearly scared and panicked from the explosion, but not enough to take away the overlay of my stand. And I'm going to attempt to go back up the stairs as quick as possible. But as I'm doing that, can I see the sniper in this room?
No, you're sort of. So you've gone back up the stairs, is that right?
Yeah. From what you said, I was only blown back into like the back wall.
Yeah. So as you go up, presumably more careful this time to avoid traps, you're sort of this open sort of bell tower, and on the other side of the bell, you can see the sniper man sort of hanging off the sort of the balcony. It's not the proper word, but I can't think of the word. It looks almost as if he's going to leap off and sort of run alongside the roof of the church he is trying to escape you.
Okay. Taking aim, I'm going to point my overlay like at his legs. You said he's about to leap off of the balcony?
Off the bell tower and onto the roof, the church of the roof. The roof of the church, even. Yeah,
all right. I'm gonna point my cannon directly at his legs, and I'm gonna yell out, "The Clash, motherfucker!"
Hell yeah.
I fire a bullet in his direction.
Okay, that's a snipe. So pluck and precision is what you're aiming for here.
Gotcha.
And against his body and wit to dodge.
Get his ass!
You notice that this guy does move to dodge, even though you're presumably not doing anything that he can see. So if he's not standing using it, it seems he's aware of their existence at least.
9d6, you got this, homie.
So it's.
And what's he doing to react?
He's just dodging with his body and wit, which is 7d6.
Alright, so
that's a hit.
3 hits from Slugger. And then he also got 3 hits, so it's not a hit. He dodged.
So yeah, he leaps off the balcony. Your shot goes wide up into the sky, and he sort of. It was part. I don't know if parkour was sort of invented back then, but he sort of, for lack of a better word, parkour rock climbs his way off the bell tower and leaps onto the roof of the church.
Okay, but my bullet does hit something, correct?
Okay, well, it wasn't a total dodge, so. Yes, let's say not the sky. It hits some tiles on the roof behind him, if you'd like.
Okay. All right. And upon impact, a chunk of that wall will break off and turn into a dozen or so red rubber balls, small in size.
Okay.
And these balls are now floating in the air, and I'm going to point my cannon out further.
Can non-stand users see the balls?
Yeah, they can.
Okay.
I'm going to point my cannon out further, and on the inside of it, where it would typically fire out, it's now going to suck the balls back in, and I'm going to manipulate them back into the cannon. So now I have like these precision projectiles.
Okay, but I was going to say as well, you've hit the roof tiles that were behind him at this point. So if you're just looking them up, could these not conceivably like hit him in the back?
So what are you asking?
Well, the behind him, right? Let me get into the Google thing to illustrate what I'm saying here. Just clear the frame. So this is the Bell Tower Church here. This is the roof proper. This is you in the winging gun. This is him having leapt down. This is the bit of church roof that you hit, so it's like a ball there. When you're sucking it up, would it not like hit him on the way?
Oh yeah. I didn't think of that because of the positioning. But yeah, now that you've explained that, they would fly back and hit him.
Maybe you can play that as retroactively giving him a ruse bonus, which would be enough for him.
Yes, I will. That's a splendid suggestion. So yeah, he's lifting his sniper rifle, sort of pointing at you, and as he does, you strike him in the back of the head with the incoming ball, and he collapses to the ground. It's a good hit, and he's knocked unconscious.
Nice. Tired.
As the balls are coming back towards him, I don't know how many you want to say hit Tan, but as they're doing that, I would like to transform them upon impact back into the tiling just to injure him.
Absolutely. So they just explode into shrapnels of sort of ceramic lodging in his wounds, and sort of he makes a Brian Griffin pose as he falls to the ground, essentially.
Nice. And I think that's that fight complete, yeah?
Yeah, so that was very well done from both of you. Very, very ruthlessly executed.
Is this guy alive? Can I tell?
He's unconscious. It seems he is alive.
Yeah, in order to
Of course,
kill
whether he stays that way is up to you.
You have to do
Before-
-2 hits.
Before we cut back, I'm going to leap from the bell tower and run over to him. Because I'd like to extract information, but not on screen.
Absolutely. So you're going to interrogate him while we cut away, basically.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
Good fight.
So we swoosh back into the apartment building where you've confronted these two Stasi agents within the apartment, along with who seems to be Clarence Bell, sort of tied up and showing the bag over his head, having been questioned sharply, it would seem. Let's roll here. I will give. There's no harm in giving them. So this is going to be Else Gerver and Eugene Naina, who you are facing off against Vasilii. I can't say whether your cover is really blown yet. Would you like to maintain that for the time being?
He's gonna act like he can't see Vulture stand. He's like, what just happened?
That seems to be suspicious to them, as they glance at you.
Does that work for the combat order, Tan?
I would say Gargal's probably going to open it. She's closer to you.
Okay, so guard, gal, regent, knife guy, me.
Yeah, if you'd like.
Sure.
If that's okay with Stigma as well, with your respective sort of order there.
Yeah, I'm okay with going second.
Okay. Wait, Regent and Volt? Wait, which one's you then?
I'm Vulture, I'd be
I'm
last
Regent.
in the order.
Oh.
I just called knife guy the blonde guy with red eyes.
Okay.
Because he had a weird knife.
Okay, guard gal, as soon as she sort of recovers from that, as she sort of picks it up on the ground, she shouts, "Party rock!" And a stand appears, a
God
humanoid.
damn it.
Humanoid stand manifests above her. Sort of a mechanical humanoid. It's got neon green surface. It's got a strange sort of plastic texture that's common on stands, with bright pink lines coursing over its body, painting out sort of abstract muscles. He's got goggles for eyes. One lens has a bright pink P in it, and the other an R, and it's also got a pink mohawk from the top of its head.
That's awesome.
Almost the texture, almost like a toilet brush.
Nice.
And it's just going to rush towards you, Chelsea Dagger, with basically a stand rush here.
Alright, so what I'm gonna try to do is do a fucking combat roll out of the way. So I think that would be your first instinct.
Okay, so she's going to roll her 8d6 here for her attack.
Noob. Alright, what am I?
Yeah, so that blow to back ahead is definitely disoriented her. Although these are, like, you can tell clearly the dangerous punches, like, those would do serious damage if they hit you. They're going wide for the time being, at least, and you manage to roll out, well, yeah, you don't even need to roll, there's no successes. You roll out of the way, essentially.
Sure.
Out of the immediate line of fire.
And I imagine, like, as I land, I'm, like, one knee up, one still on the ground, got my, like, hand posed, and I'm, like, already reaching to my leg for that, like, weapon I showed
Oh,
earlier.
yes, nice. Vasilii, the hour is yours.
Ah, seems the cover's blown, Vulture.
I just sort of scoff, and my eyes sort of, like, narrow, and I go, well, I was always better in a fight anyways.
The guard with narrows her eyes. Atlas dogs.
As she says that, he throws a punch, his stand overlaid over his arm. You can faintly see a humanoid outline. It seems to be red with some type of cyclops-like helmet over where the head would be. As he shouts, "Fade into you!"
Okay, and what was it? You throwing a punch here at her, or him, or
Yes, a punch at her, which may or may not
have some strange
make her
effects?
more like a primordial fish.
So, like,
Interesting.
strike for power and precision?
I would say so. Yeah, there's a single punch, right?
Yes.
So her stand's gonna sort of try and reach out and grab the fist out of the air, like by the arm.
So
She's
that'd
gonna
be
roll for
restrain.
restrain.
Yeah.
Power and durability. Yeah.
I think you messed up your roll there, Stigma.
Oh, whoops. D46, yeah. Yeah,
D46.
Just put 8d6, you fool.
This is my original character. He has his own mechanics.
I've rolled a 16. Alright,
So you got
hit.
a.
Yeah. Alright.
Oh, Party Rock lashes out both hands, seizes your fist out of the air here. So and she's got hold of your arm basically. So you do not manage to get a hit here.
No hits dealt, and then it goes to Knife Guy.
So Knife Guy, he sort of leisurely stands up from his captive. He's sort of holding that knife between two fingers. He points it to you. He's like, "Oh man!"
Well, wait, can I use my Vasilii get lucky and have the narrator explain he's only pretending to get his fist caught?
Are you using a luck burn?
Yeah, the temporary luck burn.
Which one?
So absolutely.
The free isn't the free one that the one where
Yes,
I
it's
was
free.
pretending. Yes.
So you use 3 of your temporary luck points there.
Yes. You see, while she caught his human-sized arm, but little did she know, as she catches it, it turned into a longer simian-length arm that manages to reach her face.
So your body changes and your stand's body changes accordingly to reflect it, right?
Yes, the arm lengthens.
It's almost like a
into
super
a
punch.
length arm.
So maybe mulligan for advantage post roll for 4 temp luck?
No, it was the retroactive narration one.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll allow you to roll again for it then. There's going to be no counter roll, but you have to sort of beat what she's already done for her restraint, I would say.
Alright.
And I
That's me
believe she
too.
got 2, so you have to be... you did it!
Oh, very nice. That's an overpose, I believe. Isn't that right? No, it's
let me check.
not.
It's
No,
fortitude.
2.
Well,
So,
also,
yeah.
overpose isn't as much a thing in combat, so there's a hit difference. So, like, any hit's a hit, but the higher it goes over, the more severe the hit is. So this would be a moderate wound. So the example I gave was like cars crushing Joseph's wrist bone or something.
And yes, I forget who said. I think it was Jack, but I like them comparing it to a zoom punch.
Yeah, zoom punch.
But yeah, your fist sort of changes shape in her arms. As she grabs it out, then it extends and slams into her face, shattering her nose, making it look a little like yours, Stigma, as she flies back and hits the couch, smashing it.
So she's taken 2 hits now. Is she still up?
She is still up, yes.
Okay. And with that, it would go to Knife Guy.
Yeah, so he stands up, sort of leisurely from his captive, sort of wiggling the knife between his fingers. And, oh man, I actually have to fight. Didn't mention anything about this. This is annoying to the maximum. And he sort of points the knife at you two. It's like, hey, can you just say that we fought and can you just like leave? Is that a possibility? I'd maximally appreciate it.
I glare at him and I say, hey, could you just die?
Such a drag, man. And he sort of, with sort of lightning speed that you wouldn't expect from his sort of leisurely demeanor, he sort of tosses that knife in his hands to you, and sort of like almost like a white light here as he rolls a snipe with it, aiming at your face, Vasilii. He sort of identified you as the more prominent target here, it seems. So he's going to roll snipe, which is pluck and precision for this man. So that was a 8d6. I like your picture of a monkey. So that's the kind of monkey you're on. So have you actually become that monkey, or is just your arm become that monkey?
It was simply his arm. You know, it extended through sinewy and a bit of a bright fur along its length.
Orangutan punch. All right, you got 3 successes.
3.
What's your react?
So yeah, he's doing a throwing knife at your face, essentially.
A throwing knife in my face. I believe it would be. I would fade into you, attempt to stand rush it like Jojo with his knives.
Nice.
As the reaction.
Like an aura?
Yes, an aura.
Be power speed.
Alright.
That is 3 successes to 3 successes, so he avoids getting hit.
Yeah, so he's
Oh wait, no, I did wrong. I did I should have done 76.
Well,
my bad.
Even if we take off the last dice, that was a 4, so you still would have made it.
Alright then.
So you punch out the air, it goes flying off into the corner of the room where it sort of falls to the ground. And you've managed to deflect that attack and not get stabbed in the face, which is always a good time. Which goes to Vulture, Chelsea Dagger.
So Vulture's gonna pull that gun out of her, shoe, and it doesn't quite look like any gun you may recognize, but it still looks mostly like a gun. And she's gonna aim it at the guard gal, and she's kind of baiting the guard because she's expecting her to block with the stand and assume the stand can deflect what she's gonna shoot. And she goes to fire, and a white bullet comes out.
Okay, so what sort of role do you intend to do for that?
I would assume it would be either a sniper or maybe a trick shot, because I'm trying to bait her into thinking she can block it with her stand.
When that is okay. So the trick shot, then I would say trick shot because
Right.
it's a tricky shot.
Wit in precision, so that'll be 8d6 for me.
And she's going to try and protect here, which is use her speed and durability.
And I'm going to expend 2 luck pre-roll, leaving me at 1 temp luck for the session, so I get a free advantage.
Absolutely.
Alright, so that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits.
I roll her speed and durability here for you. D6. So you got 5 hits, you said there?
Yes. To her 4.
Yeah, so she did a good effort, but you managed to do it. So you she about to stand with its arms sort of crossed in a blocking pose. You fire the bullet, and it slams through the stand's arms and strikes her in the chest, where she falls back, fully retired.
Yeah. And Chelsea just kind of smirks at that, and she's like, because that's kind of like her smoking gun trick.
Just to note, Vasilii, as well, while this is happening, you've been feeling a bit weird since the time when she grabbed your arm originally. You can't really describe it. It's not a bad thing. You just feel like a little bit woozy, almost like you've been out for a night of drinks.
Ah, nice.
So you are unsteady on your feet right now. So I may give you a disadvantage on some rolls if they do require like finesse.
And as the guard gal goes down, Chelsea's still holding the gun, sort of stands up and like menacingly glares at Knife Guy. And then I assume new order will be Knife Guy, Vasilii, Knife Guy, Vulture. Like that.
Yeah, so he Knife Guy sort of sighs, looks down, he's like, didn't I tell you I maximally hate working hard? And as he says this, you see the knife that you deflected earlier, Vasilii, sort of lodged in the cord. It sort of wiggles in place and then pulls itself out of the wall to float next to his shoulder. And then from behind his back, another knife appears, and another knife, another knife, another knife, until he's surrounded by this sort of swarm of knives. And you realise these knives don't have rubies built into the hilts. They have red reptilian eyes looking at you.
Ooh.
99 luff balloons.
Nice. And are they all like the same kind of dagger?
Yeah. So the music's fucked up for some reason. Give me a second.
Yeah, take your time.
Yes. And the fuck is going on? Sorry, Matrix, I'm not sure what's going on.
Well, session's over. No, I'm kidding.
I guess the music's not happening there. And he's gonna sort of aim this not again. He's not going to aim at Vasilii this time. This time he's firmly identified the threat as you, Vulture. And
Wow, Vasilii, are you going to stand for that?
The swarm of knives zoom as one, almost like a flurry of raindrops, directly at you here, and he's going to be doing a roll of overkill, which is power plus pluck.
I would like to...
So, 66.
I would like to do a dual heat with Vasilii, where like each of us does half of an action. So my idea is like, I use his body for the body and my wit, and I'm basically grabbing him, rolling over his back, and like rolling to the other side of him.
Okay, so what stats is going to be from each of you then?
I assume body from Vasilii, because I'm using like his physique, specifically his elongated arm that I can reach. And then I'm using my wit to, like, whirl my body, like, to the other side of him. So,
okay.
Stigma, if you would do me the honors of rolling your 5d6, and I'll roll my 4d6 for wit.
Very well. I have my own image of how
this is his... he's got 4 successes on his overkill, keep in mind.
Vasilii, you fuck. You were supposed to roll better than that. Alright, so what I'm doing, by the way... Ah! Wait, how many successes did he get?
He had 4.
Okay, so I do get hit. But real quick, I want to explain to the audience. So a dual heat, you can do half of an action with a party member. So you use one of their stats and one of yours. And then, in theory, in politeness, they like pass it back to you later or something. But like basically, it's when you sort of both contribute to a maneuver. But it doesn't.
So in the physical sense, how did this work? Is he sort of like trying to pull you out of the way, or?
So basically, he has that elongated orangutan arm, right? So, like, I reach out to it and grab it and try to, like, roll my body up him, but I guess I don't quite get there before I get hit by one of the knives.
Well, one of those, so yeah. You steer past you, get no sort of major wounds, but you get lots of tiny cuts all over you as the knives sort of flit past you like a swarm of wasps. And as you look at these tiny wounds all over your body, they transform, becoming, like, slightly open mouths, and they start just saying, like, plain English in your voice, secrets of yours, things that you have not told these people previously. Some of them minor, things like mundane, almost irrelevant, and some of them things you would prefer people not to know. What kind of things do the mouth say?
Do you want a minor or a major secret?
Maybe a mixture.
Okay, so I think a minor secret would be I didn't stop doing ballet as a kid because I didn't like it. I got embarrassed when I failed like a big pole vault. And I think a major secret, and at least this is what she believes, is I killed my husband.
Jesus. So you hear this facility, you hear her wounds say that, so that's kind of something to drop on you. You do not know this person that well.
And I think when the major secret comes out, her eyes like widen in fear. Like she's been playing it pretty cool. She's been sort of nonplussed throughout the fight, but her eyes widen and like a bead of sweat forms on her forehead, and she goes, "No!"
Right, and that goes to Vasilii's turn. Vasilii, it's your turn.
He's in the void.
What will he do? He's so surprised.
I heard Agent Vulture react emotionally to a confession.
Yes.
Yeah, now it's your move.
Oh, Vasilii's move.
Yeah, it's a turn.
Yeah, he hit me and I wasn't able to react. Like I took a hit.
He will attempt to close the distance. You made the wrong move, gent. You brought knives to a fist fight.
The tradition continues, I say. So you're gonna like race towards him, or how are you doing this? Like,
yes, he will attempt to close the distance. For a good old-fashioned.
For reference, on every turn, people can move up to like 15 to 20 meters, so it's probably.
Yeah, so movement does not take up your action here. You can still like do an actual like attack with this as well.
No, but he is gonna attempt to attack with like a stand direction.
Okay, so is that an aura?
Yes, an aura, perhaps.
Power plus speed then.
Alright, power plus speed.
So as you're doing this, though, he's going to try something similar. He's also rolling aura, but basically his knives are forming a cyclone of blades around him to try and intercept you as you come in.
Ooh,
So
4
he's
hits.
So he's going to also roll his power plus speed here.
Versus only 1 hit, so he takes a hit.
Yeah, so you manage to weave through these blades, aura him, and he goes flying backwards. It looks for a second as though he's going to sort of fly off the balcony, but he sort of flips in the air and lands on the hilt of one of his knives. So he's
I'd like to
floating
point
in
something
midair.
out. I believe, where he might have been, where he was struck by
Oh, absolutely.
Regent's fist. He feels a bit dried out, a bit fishy.
Okay, so yeah, you see his body is like changing shape as you two look on. Looking more stocky, the arms shorter. You can see like strange markings on his neck, and his eyes wide. And it looks like he's from Innsmouth, essentially. He doesn't seem to notice this. He
It's
seems
beginning
just,
to look a lot like fish, miss.
he sort of wavers on this knife he's sort of standing on. Clearly unused to shifting his weight, he still managed to sort of float in midair just off the balcony here.
I do love fighting a fish out of water.
So as he's looking at you, then is this nice head? His eye, you see his eyes flick over to not you, Vulture, not you, Regent, but the person in the chair, Clown Spell, and 2 of his knives that are still in the apartment that were previously formed that cyclone, sort of go like underneath over his arms, between his clothes, basically, and sort of rush him like out the balcony as well, sort of trying to carry him away with these 2 knives.
Do either of us get a chance to react to that?
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna. Let's see what he's rolling first here. So he's going to be maneuver here, which is body plus speed.
Real quick, do you want to react to this one, Stigma?
I'm fine with reacting to it.
Go for it. What are you doing to react to him trying to do this?
I imagine one might try to grab onto the dagger by the hilts, of course.
Nice. So I assume...
So sort of two men hooked under his arm, so that might be a little bit tricky. We'll need precision for that, most likely.
Maybe finesse? Precision speed to like grab the daggers before they carry him out?
In that case, I have a better idea.
Okay.
He's gonna...
And whatever you're doing, you won't be it too, by the way.
He's gonna use his own stand ability on... I forget the name.
Clarence Bell, the hostage.
Clarence Bell, to try and, make them, perhaps a bit heavier than the knives can carry. Perhaps he becomes a large ape. Actually, wait, does that... Is there something heavier?
Like a gorilla?
Apes are pretty
anyway,
heavy.
the details are relevant. He's going to become a large, heavy...
So basically you're trying to turn him into a big monkey.
Yes. Too fat to be carried.
Okay, so you want to sort of hit him with your effect before he flies out the window, I assume.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe something like confound or anticipate?
Anticipate, I would say.
Reason speed.
Which is reason speed, yeah.
Oh god, no, not the reason.
And you want to beat a 2 here.
2. So the hit goes through, so the guy gets him.
Yeah, so you just miss grasping from him. He flies out the window, sort of secured in midair. He's tied to the chair, so the chair goes with him as well. And he's sort of floating in the air next to Eugene here.
Oh, I just had a better idea afterwards, but it's too late.
You've done it now, right?
Okay, do I see him flying out the window,
now
Tan?
see this. Yes, you do see 2 human figures, one standing on the hilt of a knife and looking fishy, and the other tied to a chair that's floating in the air as well.
I whistle for bats, and I immediately, Proto-Man shifts form seamlessly into a motorcycle, and I ride it up the wall, pursuing this stand user escaping with our target.
Okay, if that's happening, then we may have to redo the turn order to incorporate all of you then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Real quick, do I get my turn next first?
So we'll redo the turn order, and you will be next in that turn order.
Okay. You tell me how it is.
So it's going to be Vulture, Knife Guy, and then wherever the three of you want to go, whatever order you like, basically.
Then it would be.
I'd say maybe Proman second because he's actively going up the wall here.
So driver, knife guy, Vasilii, knife guy.
Bats, I would assume, is still sort of furthest away because you were in the church.
Yeah, I have something planned for a scene, if you don't mind.
So this is happening while they're fighting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Vulture. Yeah, it's up to you.
So he's like on his way out the window right now, right?
These hostages, the guy himself has already gone out the window. He's floating on top of his knife blade, basically. Well, knife hilt. He's standing on it.
How far is he from me?
Let me illustrate for you.
Please do.
This is the top-down view of it. This is the apartment here. This is the balcony. Vasilii has run in to where the guy just was. You were over here by the couch, so there's a window here, but you're not sort of adjacent to the balcony as things stand, and he's floating out here.
Okay.
Like this.
So he's there, balcony is the little rectangle, I'm the one on the left.
And there's the hostage.
So I think I move towards Vasilii, so that I can sort of see this. And she grimaces, and she's very upset about this whole secret spilling effect on her. And she goes, I don't like doing this. Nothing good ever happens when I do. But you forced my hand. Ludo! And, like, appearing before her is this, like, 7-foot tall, flesh sloughing off, lower jaw missing, zombie-looking thing with a gravekeeper kind of getup. And he, like, rushes towards the balcony, jumps off, and he tries to grab the chair and throw both the hostage and the guy back down onto the balcony, like midair.
Okay, as you are doing this, as your stand is leaping off the balcony to do so, the wounds that were over your body that became mouths, the mouths suddenly all open sort of as wide as they go, making your skin flex weirdly, and they scream in your voice. It's sort of an extraordinarily high pitch, trying to basically startle and unsettle you here. So he's going to be going for a bamboozle here. Well, actually, confound, I would say, which is medicine plus speed.
And what am I rolling?
Well, this is his reaction, basically, to try and unsettle you and make you miss.
Right. And then I'm doing, what would you call that?
So for your roll to get the guy, you're trying to leap and get the chair and throw it back in, basically.
Yeah.
Then. I would say maybe intercepts, durability plus precision.
Alright. Intercepts, durability plus precision. And do I get any advantages? Maybe hype? Maybe
I'll give you
resolve?
advantage for being brave enough to reveal your stand to us.
Okay. Do I get 2 advantages?
No, you don't. No, you don't. You get 1. And you'll be happy with it. It's for me.
Stack these up! Okay, so durability you said, plus precision. So it's 76 for me.
Yeah, and he's rolling his medicine plus speed, which is 8d6 for him.
Alright. So for me, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. 4 successes, I mean.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, he goes.
Because I have advantage. And he got 2 successes.
Yeah, so they scream, but you manage to sort of, your iron will hold you still as the screams sort of vibrate through your skin. And your stand manages to sort of leap off it. Does your stand fly, or is it actually just sort of running across
it's
the ground? It's
literally jumping into the air,
okay,
throwing
it's not
it
the kind of
back,
stand that can
and then
like
retracting.
float around then.
Yeah, it's like jumping. It's doing like a stand jump Jojo Dio style, throws it, and then like dissipates back into me.
So yeah, it's very much like, oh, that's a baseball, as it grabs the chair, sort of dislodges the man from the knives and hurls him back into the apartment where he sort of rolls around as the chair shatters.
Yeah, take that hit, bitch.
But he didn't take a hit, you didn't attack him.
What? I was
You
trying to
get
like
the
damage him
hostage.
as I was throwing him back in. Well, I'll leave it to your discretion. You are GM.
Oh, you would have to, you didn't say that, sorry, I didn't realise.
That's okay. It goes back to his turn, and I imagine Driver sees that as he's riding up the wall, like the
Yes.
crazy zombie stand.
So knife guy, Knife guy glances down as you're driving up Proto Men driver, and he sees you approaching, and he sort of, some of the knives sort of around him sort of switch angles to point towards you, and he fires, aiming for the wheels of your stand here. He's going to go for a snipe. which is going to be pluck precision, which is a 8d6.
What I'm going to do is, as he tries to aim for the wheels, I'm going to shift Protomen back into the armor form midair and try and weave out of the way.
I'll give you a rule of cool for that, so you have an advantage for that.
Hell yeah. I guess that would be wit and speed.
Let's see what wit and speed is.
For
Yeah,
feint,
that's
yeah.
feint. Yeah, absolutely. He's going to roll his fire here, which is a 3 successes.
That's 4 successes for me.
Absolutely. So you managed to do this. So are you able to run up the wall in your armor form, or you're sort of grabbing onto the brickwork here? How can you do this?
I continue up the wall, running up it.
Okay, I imagine your feet are sort of digging in deep to facilitate this. Then.
I've got like the tape wheels on my feet, just still running up the wall.
You got wheelies.
Yeah.
Wheelies.
So yeah, you wheel your way up the fucking wall here. The knives lodge into the brickwork just behind you, and you manage to avoid the attack. It's now your turn, as you finally get within proper range.
As I speed up the wall and I fly up into the air, and as I'm coming down, Tan, I want to switch into motorcycle form again, and try and come down and slam the motorcycle on top of him.
Okay, I think that would be a finesse, to be honest, which is speed and precision. And he's going to do his same sort of standard move, which is an aura, which of the cyclone of blades around him, a sort of a shield. So
I think I should still get a cool rule of cool here.
I'll give it to you.
2 hits.
2 hits.
Just confirm what he's rolling again. He is rolling power plus speed, so that's 7d6 from him. You got 2 hits, you said?
Yeah, 2.
Okay.
And he only got 1. He's a fool.
So yeah, you managed to so the knives scrape against the your bike as you're coming as it transforms, and strange enough they make sort of balloon squeaky sounds rather than knifey shingy sounds. But you manage to strike him on top of the head with the wheel. It sends him sort of flipping over in the air. Before he can fall to his to the ground, he grabs onto the hilt of the knife. So rather than standing on it all cool, he's hanging onto one with one hand and grabs another one to sort of hold him up in the air with his elongated fishy monkey hands.
As I land too, I do the Akira bike slide
on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let him do it. It's cool.
Okay, and that's another hit on this man. If you've seen him.
Slide. It's fucking awesome.
So he's been hit twice, if I recall now. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't count the chair when he's taken 2 hits.
Yeah. Okay. So what is now? Again, his turn. He seems to he seems to be overwhelmed. Like he may be able to handle this if it wasn't for a third guy suddenly coming up the wall. And it seems like he looks around at the 3 of you, at the hostage, and without saying the words, the knives that he's holding on to begin to spear backwards, trying to get him out of range. It seems he's trying to flee here. Like, if you will allow that, he can do so. But if you want to prevent him, it will be sort of the.
Vasilii has an idea.
Okay, go for it.
I mean, Regent has an idea.
He's not fleeing with the hostage, is he?
No, he's just making a run for it.
Okay, I'm not concerned then.
Knock him out
Regent
so I can say
will,
a stupid one-liner.
Regent.
He is floating in the air, so he may not hear the one-liner if you knock him out.
Now, what
Regent
you guys are out? Oh, okay.
So there's still the wooden, legs on the ground floor, right?
Dune said he had a
broken chair.
plan earlier, didn't he?
No, it was more like a concurrent scene. But if he's getting away, I have a plan.
Okay.
Anyways, there's the broken chair legs on the floor, right?
Yes, there are.
All right. Vasilii, grabbed onto one with his orangutan hand and tries tossing it to penetrate, as deep as possible into Knife Guy's body.
Right, he's trying to javelin it out of the air, basically.
Yes, in the Arthurian lance.
So this is sort of to stop him from leaving.
I'd say snipe. But bear in mind, I did warn you earlier, as this is precision-based, you do have disadvantages, so you'll need 6 for it to be a success. Against his race, which is pluck plus speed.
Alright, so it's precision plus...
So that is precision plus pluck. against his pluck and speed.
Oh,
No,
You did it.
You did
again.
it again.
Stigma,
Oh, wait,
just
whoa,
combine it to 76.
alright, fine. I won't try to manually. Okay. 70s.
Well, 43. We've never seen a success like this. So no successes here. So he doesn't have to roll, really. You throw the javelin. It brushes past his face and leaves like a big scratch, but it falls down to the ground afterwards, and he shrinks off into the distance as he escapes, basically. But leaves you with your hostage here.
See, this is why I don't like to bring it out. Always have bad luck.
It doesn't matter. We've got the hostage. And I like climb back up onto the roof. What was the hostage's name again?
Clarence Bell.
I pull he had like a hood on over him, didn't he?
Yeah, bag over his head.
Bag over his head. I pull off the bag. Clarence Bell, are you all right?
Oh, what happened? He's a sort of a middle-aged man. He's got red mustache, little beard, red sort of balding hair. There's sort of cuts all over his body that seems to be sort of decaying sort of remains of the mouths that are on your body right now, Chelsea.
Are mine still spewing secrets, or are they gone now?
They're sort of just murmuring almost indistinctively. But they are rapidly shrinking.
Real quick, I'd like to
you look
check
at them.
the picture and the file we were given, just in case they're trying to give us the slip and make sure this is Clarence Bell.
That does seem to be him from what you can see.
I tap the pager for a beep to let everyone, basically just Billy, know that we've got him.
Yeah, and I'm going to go over to Bats as you hear the beep in your pocket. What are you doing?
I've dragged the sniper back into the church, and I've sniped the bottom half of his legs, which are now a heap of red rubber balls at his base, and I kind of have him propped up against a corner as I'm squatting in front of him, and I have a lit cigarette in my hand, and I'm burning it in on his forehead, and this guy's writhing in pain as the shells come out of his body, where I've conveniently stuck them in case I want to take another one out just to make it hurt a little bit more.
Right.
And
so
I'm interrogating this guy. I'm like, so I think you're going to tell me what the deal here was. No official facility. You're keeping this guy out in the open. It's a fucking trap, right? Come on, just admit it. Who are you trying to catch?
When I was told people would come for him, come for Bell, we wanted to make it easy enough for them to come so we could take him out, take them too, find out get what we needed from them. But I don't know what we were looking for. His orders from the KGB, man.
KGB? Who were you trying to catch, though? Us? SPF? I don't know, the Germans? What's going on? Come on, you gotta know something.
We just knew
I feel an immense kinship with Bats.
We just knew someone would be coming for him. I didn't know who it was going to be.
And how long were you going to do this? Just until somebody came around?
We were going to keep it here for a couple more weeks, watch what happens. If nothing did, we'd be sending him back to Russia.
And I'm going to remove another piece of lodge tile from his chest.
That's all I know, you sick fuck.
All right, you bastard. Here, and I'm going to point the Clash's cannon right above his head. And I'm going to count down from 3. He doesn't know that this isn't going to actually kill him, but just to see if he'll give me any last bit information. 1.
He just shakes violently. It seems he's giving you all he knows, but please go ahead.
Fuck it. And I'm going to fire off a shot at his arm. And as that connects, I'm going to retract my stand and turn all of the red rubber balls back into their original materials, which are now situated on his body. He is almost completely unarmed from the aside from the damage that has been caused to him from the pieces of shrapnel that I've been removing. And then I'm going to look out the window, and I'm assuming I would see my companions with the hostage.
Are you removing him from the building, I take it, or would you still be in the apartment?
If possible, I think we should.
What I do, after he asks what's going on, I say, "Don't worry, Mr. Bell. We're here to help." And I lead him onto the back of Protomen's bike form.
Right. Okay. So yeah, you can see your compatriots exit the building. Bell, the hostage, is with Driver on Protomen. I assume the other two are just leaving on foot. Is that right, out the front door? Or
What? Real quick, I checked my watch. What time is it?
it's like 5:47.
I think in that case, once he gets him on the bike, I'll beep one last time to say we got him, and I say we make a mad dash back to the tavern to see if we can make the original time.
Bear in mind, it's a different place, the cafe, but it's still close by, but not the same location.
Yeah.
Sorry, to the cafe, I mean, my apologies. And I assume we try to make a mad dash to get there on time.
If you guys don't make it on time, I'll come back. If you guys are almost don't make it on time, I'll come back for you. Got it?
Understood, driver. We'll meet you there.
And I speed off on Protomen
And once
with Mr. Bell.
And once he's away, I look at Regent and I say, "You didn't hear anything. Got it?"
Hear what?
Exactly. Let's
I
move.
mean, no, I have a better idea. And Vasilii says, and Regent says as he briefly turns his face back to normal for just a second, "And you didn't see anything."
We have a deal. She'll reach her hand out to shake his.
He shakes it with his human hand.
I gotta say,
God.
Regent, I don't believe you're an infiltration expert, but when it comes to combat, you're top class.
Oh, don't worry. I've got a plan to get us out of here.
Good, because
And
we're gonna need to book it if we're gonna make it on time.
And he tosses, a leg of the chair down from the balcony onto the first floor. And as you can see it falling, it seems it's reverting back into a tree.
As he does that,
Okay.
I will peer over the body of the guard. She's retired now, right?
Yes.
I fucking put a bullet through her head to kill her.
And you do though.
And I'm gonna, and her body, as we go down, I take it to the tree, and it starts to contort, and her bones and flesh form wheels that attach to the tree.
You're fucking Flintstoning it. Holy shit.
Wait, you turned. I thought you were gonna use the tree to climb down. You're making
Yeah, that was my idea too, but I like
Yeah,
this
so I
idea.
assume as we're climbing down, I'm putting wheels on it, and then we can push it over. And
This
ride it.
is just stupid enough to be perfect for Jojo, frankly.
incredible.
Yabba dabba doo.
Presumably at this point, Iraqi would come up with some narration about how cavemen did this in ancient times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
The Pillar
Bats
Men brought the
notices-
wheel to humanity.
The power of a tree falling in a forest is enough for the forward momentum of the wheels to push it at top speed, or some shit.
As Bats notices this and hears the gunshot from Vulture, he's going to turn back at his hostage and go, "Hey, take no prisoners." And he removes his pistol and unloads into him. And then he's going to hop.
Bleeding is cut off as you say unload into him.
As they're on their stupid tree cycle, Chelsea's gonna take out a cigarette and be like, "What can you do? It's bad luck that they ran
Real
into
very
big trouble."
flammable vehicle. Okay.
Yes.
Where if I was a tree mobile.
Tree-mobile. And she says, "It's bad luck that they ran into good trouble."
So is this like a bicycle built for free?
I am not doing the one-liner again.
No, just to clarify.
It's a
Like, in
giant
terms of
tree, so I
design.
assume he can fit Slugger if he jumps down.
Yeah, I'm going to jump out of the thing and go over to the Flintstone vehicle.
Absolutely.
Hey, I got one of the guys back there. He doesn't know shit. Said something about the KGB holding him. Oh, is that Mr. Bell over there? How do you do?
You said
me
you're not speeding off.
Me and Bill are gone.
I
You
assume
say
that's just
that
his
and we see
reaction
him,
to
like, on
seeing
the far end of the
Vasilei's
tree, turning
unfucked
the
up
corner.
face.
What's that?
I assume that's just your reaction to seeing Vasilei's face now that it's not fucked up anymore.
Yes. Yes.
No, it's me, your father.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, where's Bell?
He's with Driver. We're meeting back at the cafe. We might still be able to make the time.
Go.
So,
Good. I'm going to
As
flash
you're
my watch.
explaining that,
Not far from 6, huh?
yeah, so you're making your way to Laughing Clownfish, the name of this cafe. According to your briefing, the prize is friendly speed rock motion, but is not officially associated with good trouble, so you're not to tell him anything he doesn't need to know.
I assume we'll leave the tree mobile like a block away from the cafe then and go the rest on
Absolutely.
foot.
It's up to you.
I
whatever.
was figuring Regent would just, let it go back into being a chair leg.
Nice. And there'll just be some like bone and flesh wheels on the street.
That
Right.
sounds like Vulture's problem.
Actually, you know what they do? Once he undoes the tree mobile, the wheels will like separate and turn into little shards of bone and slip into her pocket, like toothpick sized. So she has a bunch of them.
Right, okay.
You've got a souvenir.
So as you're discussing this, we swoosh, swoosh, swoosh over to Protoman is driving down the street. Can people see Protoman, or are you just like floating invisibly from an ordinary perspective?
I don't know.
Maybe it's funnier if you're floating invisibly, so that's
Yeah,
what's
okay.
happening.
This is a
And,
cartoon now.
Bell also is not a
I
standard.
feel like this is one of those things that Jojo would just never address.
Yeah.
So Bell's also not a stand user, so he's a bit uncertain as he's sitting behind you. I can't thank you enough. They had me for weeks. Oh, it was excruciating that they used that stand to try and find out what I knew. They got so much of it.
I only wish we could have come sooner, sir. This was the only opening we could get.
I've been behind the curtain for years now. Why now? I still don't understand.
It's
Do we have a way
alright.
out of here?
It's alright, sir. Once we're at the extraction point, we'll get you to the other side of the curtain in no time. You'll never have to think about those commies again.
Until his
Thank
next
goodness.
mission.
And as you say that, you pull up outside the Laughing Cloud, which is a lovely little cafe. There's people something eating here. Like I said, it's sort of 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock. People coming home from work. A lot of people sitting down for tea. Yeah, some businessmen there with briefcases. They're sort of discussing business. There's a young family sitting there. The proprietor is sort of sat behind the counter, sort of polishing teacups. He sort of nods surreptitiously as you approach. Presumably, he's sort of noticed from your invisible bike, presumably who you are. And as you are sort of pulling up and everything, the crew that previously had a bone wood tree cycle. You mentioned you abandoned that sort of block away. Is that right?
Yeah, and he undid the tree, I think, into a splinter, and I did the wheels into small pieces to go in my pocket.
Okay. And so you all sort of regroup at this cafe. It's around 5:53. So you have like 5-7 minutes until your exfiltration. And from experience, you know this will be on the dot, basically.
Yeah.
And Bell sort of he's clearly not trying to like blow anyone's cover. He sort of heavily sits down in a sort of an empty table, trying to catch his breath. Oh, I never thought I'd be free. Like I said, I really can't thank you all enough.
It's fine,
no
sir.
need,
We're gonna
Mr.
get you.
Grant Bell.
It's fine, sir. We'll get you to the other side of the curtain in no time.
I'm gonna take out a cigarette and hand it to him.
Oh, I don't smoke, thank you.
You better start
Bats is going to
soon.
be looking at the menu. Bratwurst, schnitzel. Can't they get a fucking burger around here?
I got something better in a burger, and I hand him one of my joints.
Keep that shit away from me, you goddamn hippie.
Okay.
I'll actually take you up on that. She's still a little perturbed about that secret, so she doesn't mind getting a little high.
I hand one over to Chelsea, and I light one up for myself.
I'm glad to be safe, but I can't help but worry about the people I gave up.
Who? What do you mean gave up? What'd you tell him?
He sort of rubs his eyes, like he's also not used to the sunlight. Presumably he's had that bag over his head for quite a while. The man holding me originally was a officer in the KGB, a man called Polpov. In the West, he's called Westbane among the military. I've been researching a power behind the enemy Iron Curtain for some years now. It's similar to Stan's, a power called Wounds. Visions of life energy.
No, you cannot be bringing George Joestar into this.
It's canon, bitch.
No.
I'm tanning. Created from trauma rather than the fighting spirit of Stan's. Polpov has an interest in such powers. He took me hostage and used that man's stand to extract the locations the ones I'd managed to interview for my research. I gave up so many. Most of them are already probably in custody.
It's not your
Shit.
fault. That stands vile. We'll let SWF know and see what we can do here at Good Trouble.
Also, it's Wolfsbane, not Westbane. Pop.
Wolfsbane, my bad.
Well, and as you're discussing this, some of those businessmen from earlier leave, and the families, the young family, has some Wiener Schnitzel brought to Bat's problem to stay in there.
I'll fucking eat some German food.
So yeah, it's around
Regent will also indulge in it.
5:57 at the moment. Can you all roll in intelligence for me?
Sure.
Intelligent.
So that's wit plus reason. So that's pretty good for me. 96.
You'll want to get a 1 for this, to be honest. But there is, of course, the possibility that none of you get it, so we do have to. There's a roll.
I got a 2, so I'm good.
Okay, so
Yeah, I've got it too as well.
you do notice you've been trained fucking well. You notice immediately when those businessmen leave, one of them has left behind their briefcase, and it's angled ever so slightly towards your table that you're all sitting at.
I nod to Slugger to go grab it.
Oh, and I'm gonna slide out of the booth and I'm gonna move over to it and reach out and attempt to open up the briefcase.
Was that bomb?
Don't open it.
You're gonna open it?
Well, I failed the intelligence roll here, so
Okay.
would you allow?
Succeeded.
I did.
Well, actually, you got equal to DC, so something bizarre happened for you, but the rest of us succeeded.
You can open it if you want. It's up to you.
Or was that bomb?
Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna open it, but I'm assuming since I failed the roll. So how do you want this
Well, you
to go,
didn't fail
Tim?
it, just you equal
It
to
was sort
DC.
of more of a collective roll to see if any of you noticed it, really.
Okay, I'm going to look towards it, and I'm going to attempt with my stand to turn it over to the other side, like point it in the opposite direction. Like use my stand.
The second
to
your
nudge
stand
it.
makes physical contact with the briefcase, there is an ear-splitting sound, almost like a cross between a boiling kettle and a blood-curdling scream. And I'm going to need a roll from our friend Billy. Bats here, sorry, not Billy. Who's that? He's not going to be born for years now. Yes, and that specific roll is going to be. Well, this is this is not. Well, basically, it's going to be rolling. I say it's power and precision here, which is a 7d6.
Alright, and what are you reacting with? Slugger.
So the only context you have for what is happening is that blood-curdling scream from within the briefcase.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to transform my entire body into rubber balls.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh my god, this music. Oh no!
So it does fail. So you explode into lots of balls. Presumably, I don't think the rest of your party knows what your stand does. So from their perspective, there was a blood-curdling scream, and then bats exploded.
Well, we saw his stand come out, right? So we saw him, because he touched it with the briefcase, and then it just presumably fired at him.
So
You
yeah,
saw the
nothing-
overlay, yeah.
Nothing happens to bats, but the table that the chair next to the briefcase suddenly begins swelling unnaturally, like it's almost like it's a balloon. And as it goes bigger and bigger and bigger, it suddenly explodes into shards of wood flying every direction.
Can I immediately move to shield Bell?
Absolutely, you can. How are you going to shield him?
I'm gonna cover him with my body. I don't have time to get him out of the way.
Okay, so we're gonna begin with a turn order here then.
This is gonna have to be body and durability. There's no other way.
So yeah, so it's gonna have its turn first, and then it'll be you.
Well, actually, you can
Right,
protect with speed and durability, is the protect roll.
Oh yeah, okay, I can do that then.
Okay, let me just get the turn order down first then. So Driver will go first. Who wants to go second?
I'll go
I
second.
might say Bats goes last.
wait,
right
no,
now
I'm
he's made of
first.
balls.
Driver is me. I forgot.
So
Yeah.
Driver, then Bats. I guess I can go.
No,
third
Bats will
then?
go last because currently he's made of balls.
Okay. Do you mind if I go second, Stigma? Do
Who is Stigma?
you mind if I go second, Vasilii?
Sure thing, Vulture.
This is a canon conversation to talk about turn order.
So here is the turn order then.
It's like when that guy at the beginning of Havoc Moon acknowledged it was your turn to attack him.
So, yeah, it's going to do the same roll as last time, which is power and precision. So, 7d6. You get another blood-curdling scream from the briefcase. Which has 1, 2, and you're protecting, if I recall, is that right?
Yeah.
How were you protecting him again?
I immediately moved to cover him with my body. I do not care what happens to me as long as I'm protecting him.
I assume you manifest like the suit over yourself, and you're just
Yeah.
standing in the way.
Roll your speed and durability then. It's against 2 successes here.
Okay.
You got this, homie. Hey! 4 successes.
Okay.
Okay, so you leap to cover him, get your armor on. The chair that was swelling up explodes into shrapnel, and they just bounce off your armor here. None of the shrapnel shards make any purchase.
Internally, I'm very relieved because I did not want to sacrifice myself.
Okay. I'm glad. I should have given you advantage for that, really, because that was in character for you. Well, you did it anyway, so it's fine. It's now your turn as well, so yeah.
So what is this thing? Is it just...
So you can't see any sort of entity at the moment. There is a phenomenon. I would describe it more happening right now. There's this. Basically, what happens is the briefcase screens, something inside the briefcase screens, and it seems something in the area sort of inflates and explodes.
So, as far as we can tell, this seems to be coming from the briefcase.
It's preceded every time by a blood-curdling scream from within the briefcase, yes.
Who? My main motivation here is to keep Belle safe until this, until they arrive at, like, the exact time. Correct. And what time is it now?
It's like 5:58. They'll be here in 2 minutes.
Okay. Hmm.
Do you want to maybe pass to someone and come back to you while you're thinking about it?
I have an idea, actually. Can I play a recording of that guy, shooting from before?
Okay, from a firing shot.
Yeah, just spraying wildly towards the briefcase. It doesn't really matter if I hit.
Okay. Well, yeah, absolutely. I would say, what is your aim with this then? Because that will depend. I'll sort of decide what the role is.
I'm just trying to provoke some sort of action from the suitcase to understand how it works, really.
Okay, I don't even know if that requires a roll then, because this is sort of very much a rule-based thing. You create it, it appears, begins firing wildly. You don't see any specific response from the briefcase to that.
Okay, so it reacted to the initial touch. It did not react to hostility. Okay.
That's the case, yes.
What's blown up? Just the table? It's like
The chair next to it. It blew up. It inflated like a balloon, then blew up into wood shards that flew everywhere.
Gotcha.
And now it is going to be Burn After Reading's turn.
Yeah, so there's another blood-curdling scream. And this time, am I right in saying, did any of you get drinks or anything? Or food before this happened?
I didn't.
I said, I'm down to have some, but I didn't actually eat yet.
Okay, but what I do recall, so Chelsea, you were smoking a joint, weren't you?
Yes.
You can feel it inflating in your mouth.
All right.
There's a blood-curdling scream, and then it starts bloating between your lips there.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, I should have kept that for myself.
As a reaction, I try to spit it out like as far away from me as I can.
So okay, so yes, please do so. I don't know what else to say really.
Maybe like I don't know, body wit, body pluck. I'm not sure.
I'd say you can do either body wit or maybe wit pluck, whichever you are more comfortable with.
Much prefer wit pluck, thank you. 96.
And that will go against its sort of power plus precision again.
I
It seems it's capable of doing just one kind of attack, basically.
got 3. Yes.
So yeah, you spit out that joint like your life depends on it, which it very well might, and it explodes into just sort of paper and weeds that splatter onto the table. You do notice then, as the shrapnel hits the table does begin to slowly inflate as well, which takes us to your turn proper, Vulture.
So, I
The table between you all is exploding like a balloon, presumably is, and it's eventually going to explode in the same way that the chair and the joint did.
Chelsea knows. I think she's going to heed to her philosophy here. So I think for starters, she assumes that this occurring right as they're about to finish the drop off is her stand's fault because she manifested it. And I think she's going to heed to her philosophy here, even at the cost of her own safety, which is putting her life on the line to complete the mission or save others. So she's going to jump forward towards the briefcase, and she's going to pool the sort of body parts that kind of collected in the little toothpicks from her pocket, and they're going to sort of fuse together into daggers, and she's going to try and fire a spray of daggers at the briefcase, like while jumping towards it.
Okay, so it's going to do its usual roll of power plus position on the table behind you at this point as you're running towards it.
Resolve
It's a
advantage?
7d6. I would say so, yeah, you have a resolve advantage here.
Alright, so what should I roll?
So you're racing towards it, I would say, but
Okay, so pluck.
which is pluck and
and
speed.
So that's 76. And I'm just trying to hit it with that flurry of like bone daggers. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To its
3,
4, 5. So
5, actually, yeah.
I beat it though. I got 6.
Okay, you did beat it. You managed to sort of get across the room, and the second you do, the blood clearing stream is letting out, suddenly just sort of cuts off. As it flies across the room, the briefcase hits the far wall and slides down, and then it sort of restarts with it. It's sort of another blood curdling from a new one. The inflation of the table stops. And instead, it seems to be the chair behind you, Chelsea, inflates instead. This is projected into its turn, by the way.
Sure. So I assume it's like going to blow up the chair on me?
Yeah.
Okay. As part of my reaction, then, I think what I'm going to do is contort the bones again and shove it in front of me and make like a bone flesh shield and like sort of hover it right in front between me and the chair.
So I would say protect then, speed and durability.
Alright, so that's another 7d6.
This music's so fucking good.
It is good.
It is good.
Well, would this maybe be withstand pluck durability?
What do you mean?
Because I'm trying to withstand the hit with my stand power?
Well, yeah, durability is from your stand. It's a stand stat.
Right, but I'm saying, would this be the withstand action?
Go on then, yeah.
Okay, cool. Me desperately buying one more dice.
I thought you meant like, would I not be doing this with my stand? I thought that's what you meant.
No. There's a withstand.
I'm gonna
is like
take this head on.
It's like taking the hit. So
I'll show you my resolve then after reading.
only one success from me. What did it get? Alright, so
2
let's
successes.
see. Hits
Oh, dear.
1, 3.
So you manage to block most of it, but a tiny bit of wooden shrapnel brushes past one of your knuckles. And as it does so, almost like a fucking baseball glove, your hand begins to rapidly inflate. All the fingers on as they grow.
I look to Regent because it is his turn, pleading.
And
Regent,
you
somehow it came
hold
to
on.
mind that...
We're not done. Sorry, we're not done.
Oh.
As you open your mouth to say something, your hand fucking explodes into gore and gristle. It's gone.
What?
Okay, it's Stigma's turn.
I think that
Is
happens.
this
and she just...
is it inappropriate to say I'm recording that explosion?
Maybe. So I think it happens, and you see her start to go to scream, and she literally bites down on her own tongue, like a little bit of blood gushing to keep herself from like drawing attention, because obviously we don't want to alert the public to whatever's happening here.
Well, a lot of people already run out screaming when stuff started exploding, to be fair.
Right. Okay. But still, she's a professional. Damn it.
Okay.
She grits her teeth down on her tongue and stops herself from screaming, but she's like, her like face is contorting, veins are popping out. She's clearly in a lot of pain. Blood's dripping onto the floor.
It would seem that at some point Vasilii mentally had gone to cleanse himself, and so he would mentally need a recap of what occurred.
The
in his mental
suitcase is making things inflate and explode.
And it just blew up Chelsea's hand.
I am at 1 hit before retirement.
So basically, the sequence of what is happening here is the briefcase screams, something inflates, and it seems when the shrapnel of that initial thing hits something else, that sometimes also inflates and blows up. But if it doesn't hit anything, it just goes to a fresh thing in the vicinity.
I see.
Hit the suitcase!
I have, yeah, if you want to split actions, I have an idea on how we can...
59, by the way.
What's the idea?
So, what's currently inflating, Can?
Nothing is inflating right now. The most recent thing was Chelsea's hand.
Yeah, it just blew up.
If you could get something, if you could get an object to deflate or inflate and fire off shrapnel, I can transform some of my rubber balls into the overlay of my stand's cannon arm and fire the shrapnel, turn it into a ball, and fire it back at the briefcase and transform it back into shrapnel. It'll blow itself up.
Seems convoluted.
Not really.
So,
the way I'm explaining it is, it's taking shrapnel and firing it back at the stand, essentially.
Chelsea,
okay, so
like,
why
didn't he
then,
do this to my hand so it could be saved?
Well, he was balls at the time.
Yeah, we didn't. I'm still balls.
He's a ball pit right now.
Balls to you. Well, you can freely control your balls, right? They don't have to shoot out your cannon.
No, I could control them completely, but the balls, I need to turn that shrapnel into balls so I can manipulate it to fire it back at the briefcase.
Are you sure it wouldn't just blow you up if you touched the strap?
I wouldn't be touching it. A bullet would be making contact with it from my stand's arm.
Okay.
You do what you gotta do, Stigma.
Well, if you do want to go along with that, the dual
It's up to you. Unless you have a plan that can take a hit
I
off of it,
also have an idea, and it's a little gruesome. I want to play the recording of the Chelsea's hand exploding right next to the briefcase to damage it.
How would that damage it? Just because of the explosion?
Yeah.
I mean, it
Oh,
only
right.
has 1 hit left before it's down.
Yeah, Stigma, if you have a way to take that hit off, go for it. I just suggested that in case you didn't.
Well, Regent was just going to like take out the chair leg, which I assumed he just carried in his pocket, and then
It's noticeably sticking out.
look. It's just a chair leg. It's no big deal. It could be mistaken for like a rifle.
Hey, I got a bat slung over my back.
Yes. And so, he was just gonna, whip it out and like a downward stroke, just have it transform mid-fall back into a tree and crush the briefcase that way.
That's good.
Okay, I would see that's a roll of overkill, probably. Menacing plus power.
Oh.
Against its usual 7d6. So 2 successes there. And you did it. The chair leg flies across the room, past the injured Chelsea, towards the briefcase at the far side of the room, becomes a tree and smashes it, and ends the threat as the briefcase sort of spills open and the contents spill out. 2 your probable shock and confusion, the contents of the briefcase seem to be a human brain pressed down to the width of a piece of paper and sort of folding in on itself. And before you can really sort of comprehend that or understand what that would mean, your watches sort of beep as the promised time arrives at 6 o'clock. Immediately, the far wall, the one that's not damaged by all this, sort of like it did when you appeared, sort of opens up, slides aside, and your transport specialist, Major O, appears.
Oh,
Of Sergeant O fame?
Sergeant O?
I'm sorry, I said Major O. This is the new Sergeant O. This is 1973.
This was before he got demoted.
He sort of pokes his head out. He's a sort of he's a man with sort of big sideburns, big wide eyes, a uniform that could feasibly be from the United States military, but probably doesn't seem to be. He's around 30 in his 30s at the moment, with aviator goggles over his eyes as well, and shaggy brown hair. He sort of looks around, like grinning happy. He's like, "You guys did it! Let's go!" And then he sees Chelsea on the ground with a hand bleeding copiously. Well, I say a hand of stump, and the wreckage of the room. He's like, "Oh, well, let's go."
I think she just tears off the opposite sleeve of her suit and tries to like bandage the bleeding and run in.
wait, could she like, and not to like force your hand, pun intended, but could she like grab her own, like what? Well, okay, maybe it's too damaged, but
There is
grab,
nothing
like,
left of the hand. I just want to point
If,
that out.
if you're implying her power because she's still alive, she could not do the
Yeah,
hand.
and then the hand exploded,
Okay,
and
no.
like inside exploded as well. There's just gristle everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, no prosthetic skeleton hand. Okay.
Yeah. No, the things that she contorts, it has to come from something dead. So since she's alive, she couldn't even if it was there. So she's just gonna bandage it as best she can, run in and be like, "Belle, is Belle okay?"
Bell seems to be fine, protected by driver.
All right, let's go.
He's gone back into shock. He's sort of just shaking as he's presumably led into the Major O's tunnel here.
I help the injured Chelsea through. Like, come on, we're gonna get you help, buddy.
Thank you.
Yes,
She glares
yes.
at the other two who
Regent.
did nothing to
Re-
assist her hand.
What? I heard what Regent is helping as well with his orangutan upper body strength.
Vulture. I was balls at the time. I was balls, god
Oh,
damn it!
you were balls? Well, balls to you!
As you are
It doesn't-
arguing, you
Oh!
do hear boots against the ground as people outside in military garb seem to be sort of assembling outside with assault rifles. So it may be time to vamoose.
We don't got
me and
time, let's
Bell-
go!
me and Chelsea are already gone, I think.
Yeah, we'll argue later. Let's go, boys.
As you run
Tally
into
ho.
Major, as you all run into Major O's tunnel, in the moment before bullets slam into the wall, the doors of the tunnel slam shut behind you as you escape from East Berlin.
Do you think we should have gotten the cafe owner too? Nah, it doesn't matter.
He's fucked.
He wasn't to be
He
trusted
doesn't even
anyway.
know about Speedway. In fact, like, he doesn't know about stands or anything. He's so fucked. Asset compromised.
And as we fade to black, but we don't end the session's still going. If we're also good to go for a
I'm
little bit.
so good to go.
Yeah, I'm good.
So we open from your perspective, maybe a couple of hours later, Chelsea. You're in complete darkness, but this is no surprise to you. You know what's probably happening. You're in the medical wing of Good Trouble Found HQ here, and where you would be is inside the stand of the medical specialist on site, Doc Lamar, with his stand High Power. Essentially, this sort of pitch black chamber you're in right now is the inside of his stand, which is essentially a chamber of reversed time. So you've been lying here for quite some time as effects of your body are reversed in real time. So you took you around an hour and a half to get back to Good Trouble HQ using various transport stands from the network of assets here. So you've had to wait sort of around 2 hours inside the stand before you can feel your hand sort of reappearing.
Yeah, in that time, I would have gotten some morphine for Chelsea.
Thank you. Dante
You don't
is
have
at
like
the
this,
top of
that has already happened, by the way. So you're in pitch blackness right now, Chelsea.
Okay.
And once your hand appears, there's an opening sort of zzz, as High Power opens up its stomach, From inside, I describe it as a chamber, but as you are sort of ejected from it, it's actually a massive ambulatory bipedal teddy bear with a zipper to open itself up and sort of accept occupants. And you are sort of deposited on the ground of the medical wing. Dr. Lamar is sitting at a nearby table. He's the medical specialist at HQ. He's sort of a youngish man. He's got dreadlocked hair. He's got some sunglasses on. He sort of nods to you. Hey, feeling better?
Thanks as always, Doc. You're always good to patch me back up after an event like that. She kind of rubs her wrist. It still feels weird, though.
A little less luck. That could have been in your head. Be careful next time, okay?
Yeah, got it. Thanks again.
So yeah, you are all now at Good Trouble HQ. Let me just get the file I've got for that up so I can just sort of give you a description. So Good Trouble HQ, it's located in Dallas, Texas. Well, it's located in Texas, not actually in Dallas. So up above, you're in an underground facility right now, but far up above is what is described as a private resort for the extremely wealthy. In reality, those are Speedwagon Foundation employees there as cover. And you've got a vast underground complex here. You've got a couple of different places. We've got the medical wing, where Chelsea is right now. Common quarters, which has bedrooms, dining quarters, basic recreational space. Communications to sort of talk with the outside world through pre-approved phone calls. Training facilities. And K Division, where Kay and the crew make gadgets for Good Trouble. You didn't have to use any in this case, but if you were to use them, that's where you get them. So Chelsea's in the medical wing. Once you've arrived back here, what would you each all be doing at HQ?
I think I would I think I would already be looking into what new courier jobs I would be taking. And once that's done, I'm going to head over to the engineering bay and help repair vehicles, get them suited up for Speedwagon Foundation usage.
Okay, so when you say these courier jobs, are those within the Speedwagon Foundation or is outside work?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you managed to get a few
Not
assignments.
work yet. I don't do that here.
Okay.
The drug dealing comes later.
So yeah, you managed to you got a few assignments there, small deals, which probably after that mission are somewhat appreciated.
Yeah.
And the engineering bay is located in K Division, so as you go, the K herself is already sort of at work on gadgets for other operatives. She nods to you as you walk in.
Oh, got any fancy vehicles for me to work on today?
Well, she says, so she's a tired-looking woman. She's got bags under her eyes. Well, we've got the motorboat from last time. I don't know if you do boats.
I can give it a shot. The engine can't be too different, can it?
It took the damn thing through a tsunami. It's not built for that, you know.
I bet not. Hey, you're looking tired. You need. Think you need to get some more rest, buddy.
She sort of rolls her eyes. Like, you've met her a couple of times. She seems perpetually tired, and she presumably gets told this a lot. I didn't actually describe her. She's got like a white lab coat on, a black sweater, and pencil skirt. She's got long black hair.
If she gets told that a lot, I'm gonna rephrase it then.
Okay.
Hey, you doing all right?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Well, good as can be. They got me working hard as always. So yeah, she's got like long black hair, got heterochromia, one eye's red, the other's blue, bags under her eyes, a white lab coat, black sweater and skirt.
Just take care of yourself. Wouldn't want you to overwork.
Oh, I've been trying not to do that for years.
I hear that. And I give her like a two-fingered salute as I go off to the work on that boat.
Okay. And
what
are the rest?
I'm expecting face claims for all these characters, commissioned obviously, because I'm very intrigued by them.
Okay. Well, I don't have any face claims at the moment, but we'll see what we can do. So yeah, what would the rest of you guys be doing?
I believe that Regent will be, in the lounge, perhaps playing pool with a few other unnamed Speedwagon Foundation characters.
Well, absolutely.
Ooh, you say.
Meanwhile,
there will actually be another agent who, if you want to like play pool with, he'll be only happy to meet you to do it with you.
Oh, I will say that while he's playing pool, he's also casually looking at a few paper documents in his hands. As his side gig, he has a day job as a unlicensed doctor providing fertility tests.
Fantastic. Yeah, here you go. Yeah.
What does that
Okay,
mean?
a legacy. What does that mean?
Getting guys out of paying child support, I guess?
No, he is simply
friend says
using unlicensed but highly effective methods of determining these people's ancestry.
Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, okay.
What's that you have there, friend? Says your pool partner from across the pool table. It's Maximilian Masterman, his name is. He's a bulking, big American guy with big bushy mustache. Well, I say bushy, more curly mustache. Sort of slick back brown hair. He's massive, to be honest. He's holding this pool cue like he can snap it between his fingers.
I'm imagining Armstrong.
Exactly, that's who you should be imagining, but with brown hair.
Yeah.
Oh, just some old paperwork. You know how it goes. And Vasilii takes, another shot at the balls.
Ah, I see. A little hustle on the side. Well, that's the American spirit, wouldn't you say?
Oh, well. Do I look American to you?
Well, like I said, it's a spirit. It's not an appearance. There is no distinction between
America has no race.
Exactly. We all bleed red, white, and blue.
For now. One day, I will return.
Well, at least we all bleed red.
What
anyways.
does that mean?
Return where? What do you mean by that?
Didn't I tell you, my family? We come from the old country, the old world.
From across the Iron
before-
Curtain.
That's back before those damn Reds won.
He shakes his fist at the imaginary Reds. Damn them! And as that conversation sort of continues, we go out to an office somewhere deeper in the underground in the complex, where Matt, you are meeting with the operator of Good Trouble, Mr. Neil E.O. Speedwagon.
I kind of roll my eyes as I enter the office and sit down in his chair, tapping my fingers against the plastic.
So he's a man with sort of thinning black hair, pencil black mustache. He's got a red business suit with blue stripes running down it, and he's got he's sort of patting at his forehead with a handkerchief. He's a bit sweaty. So you're sure then that no one who was there could identify you as being from Good Trouble?
I'm positive. I didn't say a shit. I mean, you could ask the other ones, but you never ask them what fucking happened on their missions. You just let them write the report. You got to go through me still.
Well, they've earned that kind of trust. You haven't. You've earned quite the opposite, I would say.
Look, I didn't do any torture, none of that shit, okay? You could ask them. I was good.
The report says one escaped. He didn't know anything. You didn't suspect anything?
I didn't get to talk to him. How would I know?
None of the others mentioned how they interacted.
Look, they weren't too talkative. I mean, the broad, she lost a hand, and the other guy was kind of a prick. And Motorcycle Man, well, I didn't really talk much to him. Look, like I said, it was a tight mission. If you let me go out with these guys again, this whole wound business, it's kind of got my interest, All that talk of stands awakening from trauma or whatever. Don't you think that's kind of like what happened to me?
Hey, Tan. I know I'm being a bit of a goody two-shoes here, but after I'm done with the boat, if I get any word of Bats getting in trouble, can I try and put a good word in with him? Tell the director that he actually saved my ass with a sniper.
Well, you can definitely, if you hear he's been sort of,
I
he's been
believe
director.
that just as a counterbalance, karmically speaking, Regent would mention in his report that Bats smelled bad.
Yeah, the elaboration that I have, and I kind of hinted at this in the character sheet, was that Bats is kind of in a Suicide Squad situation. He was a former mob guy, and he awoke in his stand, and the SWF captured him, and they're now using him for the more dangerous missions. So he's been kind of doing this for a few years. And he's kept in a lightly furnished cell away from the socialization parts of the resorts.
Yeah, I know. It's just if Dante's a pretty nice guy, and if he hears you're getting a hard time after you literally helped save Dante's life, he's gonna go over to his boss and be like, "Hey, could you do me a favor and cut him some slack since he saved my ass and all?"
I think that works.
Hey, he's pretty fly for a white guy.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, he's an Italian American. He's my kinsman. And we Italians gotta stick together, am I right?
That's true.
So yeah, Neil sort of shuffles his papers. That said, there have been good words put in by one of your teammates. The other, we sort of had a policy of discounting, but good work.
Let me guess. The other guy from the boot?
The other guy from the boot?
The Italian, you know.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yes, he had a good word for you.
What'd he say?
Well, that you worked well. You saved his ass, as he so eloquently put it.
Let's see what I mean. Maybe we could, I don't know, start putting me on a detail where I could maybe work with more people. Get to know somebody. I'm sick of working on shit by myself and getting sent out there and not knowing if I'll come back, you know? I mean, most of the time you're the only guy I talk to these days, and you're not much of a fucking conversationalist, to be honest.
Well, it's funny you should mention that. There will be a briefing coming up later today. I'd make sure you're ready for that, to be frank.
So let me guess, back to the cell, right?
Maybe not. For the time being, you can return to your rooms. We'll call on you when it's time.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Have a good one.
You
And,
too. He seems not have gathered that wasn't too sincere. he's a bit of an earnest guy.
Yep, and I'll head back to my dorm.
Yeah, so you're likely finished cell, as you put it here. Yeah. So Chelsea Dagger has something that she's doing as well. What is it that she is up to?
You mentioned the phones for like approved safe calls.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to the phones, and I'm calling. I assume that a Speedwagon Foundation operative at a safe house far from here is going to pick up, and I put in the call.
Hello.
It's me.
Oh, Chelsea. Usual call.
Yeah, is James? Is he doing all right?
He's doing fine. Yes. I will put you on to speak to him, but he's gone over to a friend's house.
No.
I can go get him if you'd like.
It's better if he doesn't. But he's been eating well. His grades are good.
Absolutely.
And
well, good it can be for a young man.
And nothing bad's happened, right?
Absolutely not.
Thank you so much. She'll. Oh, and make sure you get him something nice for Christmas, okay?
Don't have to tell me.
She'll hang up the call.
Okay, and as you also mill about and do what you need to do over the day, you do get that motorboat back in shape, driver, by the way.
Fuck yes.
Your pages do they did the trademark sort of beep, 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 which usually means get to the briefing room, time for mission briefing.
Oh, I love being briefed.
I give her fuck, who is that lady at the
Kay?
Kay?
Was that her name?
Yeah, her name's Miss Keaton, but most people call her Kay here.
I give her an avaradachi as I leave.
Absolutely.
I got that boat fixed up nice and good.
He got that
She's got great fleece here. She seems to be using her stand, these sort of small wisps of Darnell to make gadgets, it seems like.
Alright.
And you all sort of assemble in the brief room, which is, I sort of bigged up a little bit, but it's a room with a projector mainly. With
fuck yes!
Mr. Speed.
Oh,
it's a projector!
I didn't expect to see you guys again.
Oh, glad to see everyone's in good health.
I hold up a fist for a fist bump with bats.
Hey, Hey, I gotta say, thank you for putting a good word in for me. I really appreciate that. The rest of you, well, I'm glad your hand's all right, Vulture.
Yeah, Thanks.
Whatever the fuck they did to you.
Hey, I couldn't let him greet a fellow Italian out. Couldn't let him treat a fellow Italian like shit after he saved my ass, right?
For what
No,
it's
that's not. That's how it works in this thing of ours.
for what it's worth, in Chelsea's report, like, you know, Dante praised Bats, Vasilii talked shit. She went straight down the middle. She's like, he was adequate.
Hey, he did not talk shit. He gave a factual assessment.
She praised. Wait, what'd she do?
She, like, rather than praise or degrade him, she wrote in her report he was adequate, which is also what she wrote for the other two.
Oh, okay. I see.
So yeah, as you all arrive and sort of greet each other, Neil EO Speedwagon arrives as well and begins operating the projector. It takes him a couple of times. You have to flip over the piece of paper once because it's the upside down. Well, thank you for all joining me here in such a timely fashion. I do appreciate it. Good work in Berlin.
Thanks.
We've been speaking to Mr. Clarence Bell and analysing the intelligence he's gathered. We've been analysing the situation. We've determined that the Polpov he spoke of, Colonel Polpov of the KGB, is a significant threat to peace between East and West as things currently stand. It seems that his activities in trying to track down these wounds have been outside of the remit of the Soviet Union government itself. He's operating independently, if you will, for his own goals. What those are yet, we can't quite ascertain. Nevertheless, what we do know is that he is called a gathering of several ambitious and prominent individuals within the Soviet government. He's going to be meeting them at some sort of conference on the Russian coast. The Winter's Box, he sort of clicks the projector, it shows a mansion sort of clouded in snow on the shoreline. Previously used as a holiday home for the Romanovs, he's going to be there for 24 hours to have this conference. We don't know what it's for, but it seems like he's pitching something to these gathered individuals. Your mission is this. K Division has concocted this. He holds up sort of like a face mask. It's called pseudo latex. It bonds to the face and will make you appear to be someone else. In this case, a KGB officer who recently defected, but that is still unknown. One of you will pose as him, the rest as his military escorts, and you will infiltrate the conference itself, ascertain what exactly it is regarding, and should the opportunity arise, he looks specifically at you, Bats, deal with the threat in question.
I understand.
It seems like Neil, even though he wants that to be done, he can't quite say it. He seems to be like a bit of an, as I said, an earnest guy, so he doesn't like sort of ordering those sorts of things. But he does know what needs to be done.
So kill him.
Any questions? Right? If that becomes necessary.
Got it.
You'll be working with Major O again for this one. The motorboat that's recently been repaired will be used to get you alongside the Russian coast. From there, he'll use a stand to get you to the vicinity of the Winter's Box. Once the situation is complete, you will fire off a flare, which will be the signal for him to extract you once again.
Any time limit?
The conference takes place over a day. If the opportunity passes, we will have to simply accept failure.
Sorry, let me rephrase that. After we've scouted this conference and done what needs to be done, if we find any lingering threats or threads that need to be followed, will we be granted extra time to follow those, or do we need to be out after the conference is over?
Ideally, you would be out. If, however, unforeseen circumstances do arise, fire the flare and explain them to Major O. He will bring that information back to us, and we will find some way of getting an alternate exfiltration plan to you.
Understood.
You said this was taking place at the one of the old residences of the Romanovs.
A holiday home? Yeah. Oh, yes. He seems to realize who he's speaking to.
What did they do with the old Tsar's home?
Well, this is holiday. You mean that? He asking his actual home or this one?
Is it in its original condition?
It's in surprisingly good condition. Presumably, why they're using it for this event. Whether or not it's been maintained, it's difficult to say, but it's a livable abode.
I think he's asking, like, did they refurbish it or did they preserve its, like, historicalness?
Yeah.
There had been some refurbishing, yes, I'm sorry.
Unforgivable.
Hey, you can undo that with your stand, right?
It's not the same. It won't be the same.
I give him an earnest pat on the shoulder as I can see this has clearly bothered him to his root.
I'm gonna turn to Regent too. I'm gonna be like, hey, you don't need any of those fucking latex masks, right? I mean, I saw what you did back there with your face.
No,
Pretty
And
real.
bear in mind, the purpose of the mask is so you look like a specific person.
I think the best person to wear the mask would obviously be Regent. I mean, he seems to be the most informed as to these... How these... What's the word I'm looking for? Prestigious types might operate. If not him, then Driver for sure. I'm obviously a woman, and no offense to you, Slugger, you were great in the field, but you seem a little aggressive.
If it's all the same
I
to
don't know
you,
what-
if it's all the same to you, I'd rather not be the one talking to rich snobs.
Then I think the answer's clear.
Yes. Vasilii, perhaps to somebody's surprise, nods at what oh god, wait, don't tell me. Dante Drake says,
So close.
Indeed.
That's my son. He hasn't been born yet.
I've got that name locked and loaded for when I have a baby.
indeed, those Soviet upstarts, no class.
Yeah?
Good thought. Good thought, buddy.
So, infiltrate the mansion, find out what he's working on, and he finally says it, eliminate him. That is your mission. Good luck. And he clicks the projectile, and it finally flicks off to the last black slide, plunging through him for just a brief moment into darkness, during which we end our current session.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Good shit.
Yeah, good job,
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
High fives all
That was
around.
good.
We have a little ED as well.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Ooh, what's DD?
My fear is not demonetization, but of the sound being removed altogether from the video. How much of the... Was it just the OP and ED that's copyright, or was this all, like, copyright music?
A lot of it was from various animes and stuff.
I am
If this
not
video
monetizing
gets
it.
removed, you
Get
can
him up,
find it
Michael
on
one.
Vimeo.
I'll
On
say I think
Spotify.
You can find it on Newgrounds.
this, I think, was a banger start. I really liked how everyone worked together. I think everyone has very clear and fun popping personality. I'm very excited.
I'm excited to use Proto Men as like what you suggested before to do dual heats with everyone.
Yeah! I'm only minorly... what's the word I'm looking for? I feel minorly snobbed that Stigma never passed the dual heat back to me after I dual heated with him.
Wait,
He
didn't-
probably just
what?
forgot.
Yeah, probably.
Didn't we try? No, we tried to do the thing where like, Vulture climbs up Vasilii's arm, and then the roll just failed.
Yeah, that was me passing my dual heat to you like half an action, but you never passed half an action back.
Oh, I thought it was you doing the thing. So,
No, you're good. That was, guys, I had fun. I'm excited for session 2. I'm hyped to see eventual art of these NPCs. I already have a feeling we're going to get to know and love them. I'm really excited.
I think the character work this episode was really good too.
I'm already happy I have a friend in the engineering bay.
Ooh, what is this ED, by the way? Very good.
Kane, can
it's-
you like DM me the soundtrack you've been using?
Well, yeah, let me just...
Like, let me see your playlist, because I want to use this for my own campaign.
Alright, before we get too far in, I'm going to sign off the video. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Arrivederci, or however you pronounce it.
Talk
Arrivederci.
begins again.
I'm not actually Italian.
I am.